So we are live.
Okay, now.
All right, guys, we're having issues with the mics, and then we're having issues with the headphones.
Having
all
a
kinds
Our
of
stream
things.
deck took a shit.
Huh?
Our stream deck took a shit.
Yeah, Stream Deck took a shit. There's all kinds of things. And then we have
I
a
blame it on
guest
Miggy's
that doesn't
computer.
want to be on a camera, so there's a fiasco.
I blame it on Miggy's computer.
I blame it on Miggy's computer.
I
Hey,
blame it
guys,
on
give us a
Miggy.
thumbs up. How's the volume? Did you hear us? Can you hear us? What's going on?
So what's up, bro? What'd you do today?
Chilling, work, and then I had to go by pick up these headphones, which is, man, it's so weird. I gotta get used to this.
Yeah,
So
it's-
weird.
It's hard.
Do 1 year on, 1 year off.
Pretend I'm a DJ.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes it better.
It makes it better. It's like you're listening to music in the background now
Yeah.
instead
Why are
of
you
like the
putting
whole
it
thing.
Forward.
I do. Oh, that. I don't know why you were doing that.
Nah, I'm fine. I just go like this. It'll be all right. I gotta get used to it. You know what I mean?
You'll get used
Hey,
to
guys, so how's the volume? Anyone in the chat?
it. Yeah.
I think it's good.
We should be good. We got eight people online, so
That's
I'm not
good.
sure. Hey guys, could you? Okay, Lynetta sent a finally. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're an hour late today.
I love how you read Asensio, but it did not say Asensio.
Yeah, that's
What do you
funny.
mean?
You read
Her
Lynette
name is
Asensio
your
finally.
last name.
Oh.
Anyways, what did you do today?
Oh, me? I installed a huge quartz island. It was...
You said it was like the one in my bathroom, right?
Yeah, the same kind of quartz, but it was a huge island that we installed. We had to call another guy just to help us.
Oh, wow.
My hand was freaking purple from listen that shit. Heavy.
Oh,
as
I
hell.
forgot. We have a stream sponsor today.
Oh, really?
It's Jackie's Apples. Coming to the nearest Publix next to you.
What are you-
Crisp, delicious.
Sponsored?
Jackie's Apples.
What are
Where'd
you
you get
talking
that
about?
from?
Huh?
What are you talking about? Where'd you get that from?
Nothing, bro. Just random bullshit.
Oh. I was like,
Jackie's
who the
Apples.
fuck is Jackie's Apples?
I took my dog to the groomer
They sell
today.
apples and tires. They deliver the apples with their cars that have their own tires.
What did you do, baby?
I went to take my dog to the groomer, and then I did my makeup to film content.
Can we be honest?
Yeah.
Groomers are literally just lazy people business.
Why you say that?
Because if you're buying a dog, you should be maintaining your dog, don't you think?
Well, I
Bruh.
can't cut my own
Do you-
dog's nails
Why?
because he freaks out, and
Because you didn't train him to.
Bro, I had one of our friends, his daughter decided to do that instead of taking it to the groomer. Bro, that dog looks so bad.
remember when I tried to cut Rocky's hair myself? And Manuel and all you guys got there, Manuel was like, poor Rocky, let me help you.
I mean, I be taking all to the groomer. I'm part of that lazy. That lazy
Like, I
group, is
can't
what I'm
cut
saying.
the own dog's hair. He's going to look like he got cut with nail clippers. Like, I can't cut his hair and make him actually look nice.
Bro,
That I understand. If you
Like,
have a
if you
dog
just
that
take
you
him to
actually
get a
have to
shower,
shave
that's
down.
different.
Like Nala, I can't cut her hair because it would grow back looking all weird and shit. Like you can't cut those kinds of dogs' hair.
I'll be afraid to chop their balls off or something, you know what I mean? Like
My dog doesn't have balls.
You know, Lynette with our dog Leo fucked him up one time.
Did she do
That's
his
an
ear?
overstatement. But she cut his ears, and he was terrified. He would hear the zzz from the clippers, and you would not see that guy. He would fucking run
well, didn't he when you touched his ears, he hated that
Yeah,
to begin
because
with.
because of that.
Oh, because of that?
Yeah, he had
Oh, I thought he had an
PTSD.
infection or some shit.
He had PTSD from them clippers.
He also would get infections. That type of dog, they're very prone to it because since they're so long, they'll get wet with the water and the dirt and
because
this
they
and
have
that.
such big ears.
So they'll get infections
Yeah.
too.
So I guess with my big ears, I'm gonna get prone to infections.
Yeah, it's
I got
possible.
Dumbo ears. Have you ever noticed that?
No, I haven't.
Bruh,
Let me
I
see.
got Dumbo ears.
But you haven't seen my cousin Claudio.
They are kind of big.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
big ears.
I got
But
Dumbo ears.
clearly they're not that big to the point where I'm like, oh
But
shit,
you don't have
like,
a
I never
small
noticed.
head.
Huh?
No offense, but you don't have a small head. So it's like
think
they're
so?
kind of proportionate.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
to
I'm
your
saying, I
body,
never
it's all kind of
noticed.
proportionate. I mean, maybe they're a little big, but have you seen my cousin Claudio? Yo, and I have a picture of him when he was like probably like a 12 or something, and it was that big still.
She
From
said
like
I
he's
didn't
down
cut
like
him.
this.
Dad did.
And you know what's funny about ears and nose? They always grow because it's all cartilage. Kind of like sharks that never stop growing. So, like, there's
I
no
feel bad for your
stopping.
brother.
Huh?
I feel bad for your brother if that's the case.
Bro, can you imagine, like, another 20 years? I'll be able to, like, flop and fly away.
The most. And what's Arthur gonna be
man.
able to do?
Huh?
His nose is gonna enter a room before him for real now.
Well, it's already doing that.
Yeah, but in
Pretty
20
soon,
years,
vacuum cleaner suck out all the oxygen.
that's why his fish tank's pH levels are always off.
Yeah, I don't see him in the chat. He's about to get in the chat and try to roast us.
For real. He's
Who?
typing something right now. He's like,
Your brother, he is in here.
Oh, he's in there already?
Your TV is delayed as fuck.
It is.
Like, cause I'm seeing a bunch of chats. that
Well, I can
come
set the
through.
stream next time to come in less delay and whatever. Because right now it's a normal delay. You know what I mean? We can set the stream like immediate, almost immediate. But yeah. But it's so weird, bro. You're getting all these delays, just cables. You know what I mean? Like a couple of feet of cables and it's delay.
it's crazy.
But anyway. All right, are you gonna jump in or no?
He's lame.
Bro, we're gonna celebrate your birthday on the camera, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's your birthday today?
It was a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh,
Happy
well,
birthday,
late
brother.
birthday. Wasn't it your
Yeah.
niece's birthday too?
Yeah, bro, we can do the candle, the whole thing. Come on in, just for the birthday.
Is even a cake?
Look, Arthur, I guess
Bro, we
didn't
even
hear
got
the part
cake
where
and
we were
everything.
roasting him.
Come on in. All right. So, I've been reading this book, right? It's called, I don't want to misquote it. Hold on. It's like Sociopath Next Door.
Sounds familiar.
The
Yeah, I don't read
Sociopath
books,
Next
but-
Door, right? The Bernie's choice, why concessions is better. Or why consciousness is better. So this lady is like a psychologist, like a board certified psychologist, and she basically wrote this book about her patients and people that were like victims of sociopaths and the actual sociopaths and whatever. But she's not talking about, like, when I say sociopaths, what is the first thing you think about?
Well, the definition of a sociopath is someone who has zero of a feeling for anybody else, in the sense that they're 100% selfish or self-full as well. Have zero cares for the well-being or love for anybody else. Like,
And
they
aren't they
just
also
they
really
can't show
good?
feeling.
So who
They're
do
very
you
good
think
at
about?
mimicking.
But aren't they really good at like acting like they care
Yes.
to
Yeah.
get stuff out of you?
Yes,
So you might
absolutely.
think that they aren't.
They learned to get what they want and manipulate. They have to show feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but she's not talking about like actual like Jeffrey Dahmer and all of these guys. So, you know, because when you say sociopath, that's who you right away think about. Jeffrey Dahmer killing people and blah blah blah, blah, right?
Not necessarily.
Exactly, and that's what she's saying. Like she's saying, like they're all among us. Like they could be a coworker or somebody that you work with. So it's kind of like they're intelligent enough to understand. Like, let's say you piss them off, and they want to just drive with their car and like kill you, whatever. But they won't do it. But if they did, they would feel like zero remorse. Like they wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's what a sociopath is. They wouldn't care. But I think it was Jordan Peterson that like said, by some statistic, this was an exact like study or something, but he was saying it's only like 4% of the world
Yes,
are sociopaths.
1 out of 25. In 1 out of 25 in society, and then it's actually 1 out of 5 in jails. Because what happens is majority of them are not very intelligent, so they get caught. So like she's talking about this guy that would like constantly wanted to steal post stamps. So he would break into the post office, steal the post stamps, and then wait in bushes for the police show up. Like that was his thing. But they knew him. He had been like in and out of prisons because of stealing these stamps and breaking into the
So
post
he would
offices.
wait for the police office on purpose?
Yeah, he would just wait there for them to show up, pretty much to say, I did it. Like, he wanted to catch that, like, people being like, oh, like, that whole, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And she was saying, like, for them, like, since they have no emotions, it's like kind of like, because they pretend that they
But
do.
I don't think necessarily they have no emotion.
Yeah, that's when it's, like, completely emotional. Like, they don't
No,
feel
no,
love,
that's
they don't
not-
feel sympathy.
That's not what so they don't feel those kinds of emotions, but they still get angry and frustrated.
Yes,
Those are still
yes.
emotions. That's a
Yes.
whole different thing when they have no emotions.
Yeah, so what was I saying? Anyway, oh yeah. So they kind of learn how to mimic that, just kind of
Yes.
like you would learn
To
a
manipulate.
language. You know what I mean? It's just for them, just learn a language. Like, you know, if you watch like romantic movies, you can learn how to be romantic and things like that. That's how they do it. And they're super. Some of them that are
Or
super
they pretend to
intelligent.
be sad or whatever just to get what they want.
Yeah. And some of them that are super intelligent, let's say they work for a big company, all they need is one or two people to do their job for them, and they just have this success, and they will never be discovered.
That's crazy.
So,
It's fine.
according to shepherdpratt.org, schizoid personality disorder is one of the many disorders that people exhibit zero emotion.
But isn't that the ones that like not even facial expressions? Like they can tell you something super exciting, super sad, and they're super serious.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I just bought a car, and they're like super serious.
or
No
even
happiness,
if
no
they
nothing.
tell you like my mom just died, and they're like no
Straight
care,
face, no nothing.
or I
Look-
just failed at this.
Look up what are the like the points of sociopath. Like, what is the description of it?
Basically, nobody who has zero remorse for others.
But there's more to it. There's like antisocial personality, narcissistic. Like, there's a lot more stuff to it. And what they're saying, the reason these people are so attractive because they're always to the max. So, for example, they'll get in your car, and let's say you just bought a car, and they get in your car, and they're like kind of in a nice way, like, oh, let's see how fast your car can go, like, you know, things like that, where they're kind of making you do these things that they want to do, but they're making you do it.
So the straight up definition is what they're giving me from myoclinic.org is mental disorder in which a person consistently shows no regard for right or wrong and
Yeah.
ignores the rights and feelings of others. So they straight up just don't
But there's
care
more.
for what
There's
other.
more.
But that right there will just make you a sociopath.
Yeah.
Now, sociopaths exhibit other things, but that's not what defines them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
There's
definition of a
other levels
sociopath is
and
just
other
straight up, I don't
things.
care for other people's feelings.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it
And
is.
you, okay, so,
Of course,
question.
you're going to exhibit narcissistic stuff, and because that comes with it. But that's not necessarily what defines being a sociopath.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah.
But there's a thing in a book is like when I usually ask people or victims or like, how would you be able to tell if this person is a sociopath? Like, how can you tell? How, like, for example, how would you try to guess?
I don't know.
The
I feel
biggest
like you
thing
would
is
have to
zero
be
guilt.
around them enough.
That's
Huh?
like what surrounds it, right? No guilt. So if somebody doesn't exhibit guilt for doing something bad,
But if
that's a
they've
good-
gotten to the point where they're good enough, like mimicking it, you might not be able to tell.
then you won't tell.
And she said, like, the number one way, one of the best ways to tell that is they're constantly pretending to be a victim of something. They're constantly a victim. They're never, like, it's always, and then other people around, oh my God, they're such a nice person, and these things are happening
Playing
to them,
victim
blah, blah,
to
blah.
manipulate. Yeah, that's probably the best way to manipulate, and that's what they do. That's what they do. That's how they use your emotion because they don't care to use it. They don't have any emotions for anybody else in a sense, like care, right? So to get things across, they're gonna use that and manipulate.
Can a sociopath like fall in love, or that's one of the emotions
No.
that they can't
No.
have?
She was saying that they know like they need to get married and create a family and things like that, but they usually end up in divorce because they have zero
Yeah, and they'll just fake it
care.
to
Like,
get the family.
they'll even have
but-
babies and they just won't look at the baby like it's not theirs. So they'll pretend
they
like
don't
the
care.
baby's too loud, like shut the baby up, like it's something that gets in their way.
They just legit don't care for any other human
Yeah.
being, whether it's their mom, dad, brother, sister,
No one.
child,
Yeah.
love of their life.
And usually starts like, you can tell like with little kids like trying to like kill little animals like frogs and things like that, and then it slowly evolves. Like if they're able to channel their I guess disorder towards like business and things like that, and especially if they're intelligent, they're gonna reach such high levels. But the ones that are not super intelligent, they'll make like petty crimes and things like that. They'll get caught. So there's two routes basically. They're gonna become super successful, or they just become Zodiac killer.
You know, when I was watching the Jeffrey Dahmer
The show, yeah.
the
The
show that they just
documentary?
had, it's not a documentary. It's because it's actually like a live action acting kind of thing. It's not necessarily just them talking. Well, actually, they really don't just straight up talk about him. It's actually like everybody acting it out. You know, the guy did an amazing job, by the way. Great actor.
Yeah.
He does like a lot of acting, or he's been like one of the villains in the American Horror Story shows. Like he's been there since the beginning. Did you ever watch one of the newer X-Men films when they brought out Quicksilver?
Yeah.
in the X-Men films is that young kid.
Oh,
That
the young
walks
kid that
yeah.
like was he like fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kid. Okay.
You haven't watched the show?
No, I have
No.
not.
Good.
Anyways, I found it
Why?
weird. I want
why
to
is,
look it
why
up.
is it good?
Like his acting is just
The
really
guy,
good.
yeah.
Oh, his
because
acting is good.
Yeah.
The acting is really good in the show. I mean, of
Like
course,
you watch
you
it and
feel
you
sh-
actually feel like creeped out and like, oh my god, like everything is so.
You know what I was reading? I was reading apparently after the show that so many girls came out and say that they're kind of attracted to that character. To me, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I get
But
if they say like they're attracted to him in another movie, maybe, but like in that movie,
Yeah, like he's those character that like that stoic look because apparently he's very stoic, like doesn't
Yeah.
really display any emotions. That's my
Yeah, no,
understanding
he's-
since I've
yeah,
never
he's-
watched it.
the whole time he's really serious.
I'm trying to
it's
find
creepy.
what it is, but anyways, while I was watching the show, they mentioned this thing that psychologists have discovered that people have this fetish towards gore and flesh. And when I say fetish, I mean like because it actually turns
Yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
on. That's what they found
Yeah,
that,
like
that
that's-
Jeffrey had was that the
The
literally
blood
it
and
sounds
everything.
weird, but the wetness and the sliminess
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
redness and all that of the flesh legit turned him on. I found that so weird. I'm trying to find the name of the
Like,
disorder.
he would-
It's something really long or whatever, but I
He
want to
would
find the name.
have sex with the victims,
After they were dead.
but that's not what actually turned them on. Like he would still do that too, but that's not really what turned him on. Like what turned him on was like holding a heart in his hand or like playing with the liver and whatever. And he would also eat the body parts.
Yeah, then he started eating it too.
Crazy ass man.
Bro, they found like I think it was like over 4 or 5 total bodies in his apartment, and then he like went on to say he murdered many more.
Yeah.
He would
Well,
put them in acid
Alex
and like
Alex
had
Alex
them in
said
that blue tank.
so. Donald Trump, he always is the victim. I mean, Donnie is Donnie. You know what
I mean, that's a
Donnie
that's
is
a,
Donnie.
That's a good way to put it, though. Anytime you see someone attacking him, he's like, I only did this and whatever. He's very like on his back foot when they start attacking him, or like how he loves to. I
Like,
mean, how
defensive.
everybody loves to avoid questions. But
Listen,
he's the
I-
biggest. He's the biggest guy that's like.
I am not a
Oh,
psychiatrist.
what happened yesterday?
Huh?
Well, tomorrow we're gonna be doing this. He does not acknowledge your question whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know, like if you
Yeah,
know,
I can't diagnose the man. That's
yeah,
for sure.
I can't diagnose or say anything about it, But so there's this test. I actually wrote it down. Like they administer this test to tell if somebody has it. But you have to go like apparently to these courses or to school or whatever to understand how to interpret the test. You know what I mean? So the name of the test is MMNP. I think MMMPI. So let me see MMPI. It's Minnesota multiphasic personality inventory. So it's like 500 questions or something like that. And the test has built-in questions. So in case somebody tries to like trick the test, they can't. But I looked into it. So apparently like I found the courses that are like, oh, now that you've like learned how to administer MMPI. So this is now how you interpret the results. And that was like $300 course.
Just
Because
to
I
learn
wanted
how
to see if I can find the test
interpret.
online and then like
Interpret your own
yeah,
test.
and it's all like true or false questions. There's no ABCs, just true or false questions. So I thought that was kind of interesting,
Maybe we
But
know
this
somebody.
book is super fascinating, and like I've been like into it like the whole time. And she tells like stories of people. It's crazy. It's crazy good.
I'm not a big book person.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like books can take up a long time if you're actually reading them, but if you're listening to them, especially when you're driving or like in a gym or something like that,
Yeah.
it might make it easier. And all I do is just like I'll try to remember one thing that I found something and I'll just like take down a note. Like one thing or two things from one chapter is plenty enough to like.
Yeah.
If you're learning one or two things out of a book, that's plenty enough. You know
My
what I mean?
thing is like with podcasts too. Like I've tried listening to other ones. Like there was this one of these TikTokers that I used to follow, and they started one like all about fitness, and like there was a lot of episodes that I could actually sit there and like listen to it while I was working out, while I was taking a shower, whatever. I would just play it. But there's other times that I would find myself like if there was a part that wasn't interesting, I would like start thinking about other things and just like doze off, and then
Doze
be
off.
like, oh wait, what was I
Hey, what's up,
listening to?
Felix?
So when it comes to a book, when I feel like you have to pay attention, I don't know if I could do it.
Hey,
No, I'm
Alex,
with you.
quick one for you. See if you can find what that is called, where Jeff was attracted to the flesh and stuff. I can't find it, and I don't want to keep paying attention.
I know what you're saying. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't spit it out.
Tip of my tongue, yeah, right. It's not on my tip of my tongue. It's some long ass.
I know what you're talking about.
Just
But-
look up Jeffrey Dahmer's condition.
I
or
know,
something.
but Jeffrey Dahmer's condition. He's got 1,000 conditions. If you look over Jeffrey
The
Dahmer.
man was all fucked up.
Yeah. But I'm talking about that specific thing where they're attracted to flesh. I want to find the name of it. I can't find it though. But yeah, so I had a quick thought today.
Yeah.
I was thinking of when I first started high school and they had the not CO, not correctional officer, but like campus officer. We called him CO. So
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
and when I first started high school, the guy comes like to all the freshman classes, right, and talks to all the freshmen about basically how you should stay in line, right?
Counselor?
No, this is the cop.
Oh,
The
okay,
cop that
okay.
walks around the campus. And I remember the story that he told us was, look, you guys want to keep your head down and do what you do and not look for trouble with anybody because you never know who you're going to run into. He told us a story of they were playing basketball one day in the gym, a bunch of guys, and something happened. One of them got mad and pushed another dude, and the guy said, all right, I'm good. Like, I don't want to fight, dude. I won't even play. Like, you guys keep playing. It's okay. I'm sorry. And he went and he sat down, the kid. And the other guy wasn't having it. And the same guy who pushed him went over there and socked him in his jaw. And the guy stood up and said, dude, I don't want to fight. And he starts walking out of the gym. He pushes him from behind. The kid falls. And when he gets back up, he hits him again. The kid was a boxer. And that last hit, he ducked right under it, perfectly uppercutted him, and slept the kid. He tried everything he could to passively walk away from the situation because he knew what he could do, right? Do you think that a lot of other people should have that same approach, whether or not you're trained or not, to kind of like avoid at all costs?
Autosassinophilia. He got it.
Yeah, I
Thank
found
you, my
that, but
brother. I
was-
know you could fucking do it.
I
know
found
you
something
could.
like that, but I wasn't sure if that's what it was because it didn't like say the definition.
That's a crazy word, by the way.
Autosassinophilia.
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 Can you imagine somebody that sits there and creates the damn word like, we think we're gonna name this? You know what I mean?
But what was I saying? Yeah, like, do you think everybody should strive passiveness of like, passive lifestyle in the sense of like, I want to avoid trouble at all costs, even if somebody like shows aggression, I'm able to like be that bigger person.
I think when I started jiu-jitsu first, like the first 3 months, I had this little bit of a rage going on. Good thing nothing ever popped off for me to do it. Now I think more calm.
You
Like,
have a different understanding of what can go down also now.
yeah, like now I'm more calm because now I'm thinking, okay, so I know this person most likely has no training, nothing. So if I take them down, they're gonna hit their head, break the head open. Now I'm in trouble for involuntary manslaughter. Like, I don't need that.
You're right. Like, that's how like people who are trained think about it, right? Like, damn, if I hit this guy and I one tap him, he's gonna hit the floor and I might die, and then I'm fucked. Right?
Yeah.
Even though he might have hit me first, or
Yeah.
whatever, right? I don't know. I try to think about that and I'm like, well, damn, I give a lot of credit to the kid that at 15, 16, 17-year-olds, whatever, how old he was, to be able to like take hits from somebody and still try and walk away.
Yeah, with all that testosterone rushing through him, you know what I mean? Because he must have had really good role models, whether it's coach, his dad, or someone, you know
Supposedly
what I mean?
he was the guy that went to get the CEO, say, hey, come here. Like, right when he knocked the kid out, he left the gym, went, got in the CO, came back with the CO. The kid's like, they're lifting him up, giving him ice. I felt bad. I felt bad when I heard that for that kid. But like, it's also, you look at it like, well, he fucked around, he found out. Right? That's
Yeah.
the way you look at it. But at the same time, it's
I mean, he tried to avoid, and then there's
right.
a
That's
point where
that's a
he's
good
like,
example.
"All
Yeah.
right, last straw, right? That breaks the camel's back."
But most people you could avoid, like, you would have tried twice and they were like, okay, that guy's.
Yeah,
he's
you
the
just let him
pussy.
talk.
And
Do
then
you
walk
remember the
away.
guy that got caught jerking off in the guy's gym?
Yes, yes. He was a football player too.
I think so for a little bit, but he had some issues. So
Yeah, he was. There was a. I feel bad talking.
Yeah.
So I was listening to this.
let's not put someone.
no, I'm
down.
not gonna put him out there like that.
So I was listening to this guy. This guy was apparently either Navy SEAL or something like that, and he was talking about like the levels of like violence. He goes, so let's say it's a scale 1 through 10, right? Like one
think I
being
heard
0.
this,
You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
1 being 0, and then 10 being the maximum.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, so I'm in a situation and I think this person is going to come in, and I'm like, okay, so it's not super high, but it's not low either. So I'm going in with a 4. What if he comes in at the 6 and now I'm dead? So from now on, I'm always going into situations at 10.
10. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think if it's life or death, you go in at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
Can you imagine, like, these guys have to go through this year, day after day after day after day,
You know,
and then they get...
I experienced that firsthand though, in a sense, very small scale in middle school. But I remember when I first started MMA training, I had some guy throwing paper balls. In class, and I went up to him and I tried to kick him because I had just started MMA training, right? But I thought in my head, well, I can't kick him too hard, so I tried kicking him nothing too hard, and he caught my leg, and then I fell back. I got up and socked him in his jaw, but that was a good lesson of go in at 10, not at 4 or 6 or 8.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, a lot of times, the other day, actually, Peruanito and I were walking downtown, and this guy just, like, out of nowhere starts walking towards us and starts screaming at us. And I just kind of, like, stepped away, kept looking at him, you know what I mean? Just to make sure he's not going to turn around and do some dumb shit, like, until he kind of passed by. And that's when I kept walking. But I wasn't, like, I wasn't about to, like, suck him, you know?
Yeah, you have a lot of situations where if you're going out and you just kind of see somebody and, like, some drugged up dude is walking by, they're always looking for trouble. I was just, like, give him a look, and you can't give him more than that. You got to look away and then make sure you keep the corner of your eye on them. But, like, the moment you look at them for too long, that's called attention.
Were you with us
and then the
when
guy's
we
like, well,
were-
you're the guy I'm going to fuck with now.
Were y'all with us when we were downtown and the homeless guy came over and started dancing with us?
No.
No. Oh, that was one. That was a different time then with Orsville and June.
Why is
and
the
Victor.
homeless guy dancing
No,
with you?
some guy was just feeling himself, came over and just started dancing with us.
Nice.
Oh, so splenchnophilia. No, splenchnophilia, because there's not a pH.
Splenchophilia.
But it's not a
Or is it
pH.
philia?
It's not a pH. So it's just...
gotta
Maybe he
be
spelled it wrong.
Splenchophilia, no?
Maybe he spelled it wrong. Did you meant to put an H there? I hope you did, brother. Attraction to internal organs. See, that's something definitely. Dahmer had both.
He had it all.
Dahmer, the check,
Yeah.
check. I win.
Literally.
I do think it's kind of... I look at it weird. Like, how do you guys think... when you see them... I don't necessarily say glorifying, but telling the story of all these serial killers like Ted Bundy.
Oh,
have
they
it.
talking about it?
Not necessarily them, you know, they're going to talk about it whether or not, but I'm saying how they make all these films and documentaries telling the story of these guys. What do you think that has to do with?
He misspelled. It's philia.
It's misspelled. Okay. Splenchnophilia.
So
I feel like that's almost like the movies about narcos, cartels, and stuff. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it was.
I feel like if you tell the story, you know, you're bound to not repeat it.
Well, I think it was Dahmer that got married in a courtroom, bro. Like
Dahmer?
while he was being sued, like while he was being on trial.
Some girls tried to marry him.
Bro, he had like 10,000 or some women like show up to the courtroom, marry me, like throwing their underwear at him.
Well, that
and
was
things like
Bundy,
that.
I think, not
Huh?
Dahmer. That was Bundy, right?
Bundy.
Bundy
That's
had
it.
a big
Bundy.
girl following, yeah. Because Bundy was a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
So he had all the girls like, oh yeah, they got that it factor, plus he's good looking.
After he's been on trial for like murdering people. Bruh.
I still want to see
They like him a little psycho.
the Efron do that. So, Zac Efron, he did one of the movies about Bundy and played Ted Bundy. I want to see how he did that because it's always interesting to see that kind of adaptation. Because those guys get like the raw shit. Like I'm sure. I forgot his. I want to know his name now.
But
But
like
the
I
guy
said,
that
the Night Stalker too.
The Night Stalker too, yeah. He was.
I remember she was
I
telling
think
me
he was
that show
Hispanic,
freaked her
wasn't
out.
he?
I don't know. I just remember she
I
was
was
telling me that
Hispanic.
like he would go into the house like through the window and like rape the little kids.
yeah,
and, I
Richard
don't know.
Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez.
He's definitely
yeah,
got a
he was
Hispanic last name, that's for sure.
Mm. Dude, it's crazy. Oh, like there was the clown.
He was born
too.
in Texas though. Probably just got like
The clown that was
Hispanic
like
parents.
killing homosexual men back in the day.
Dude, what about when I was in high school? I remember I'm walking to the bus and I'm thinking,
I
damn,
was
I
in
might see
middle
a
school.
clown. You remember when that was happening? Like clowns attacking kids walking to buses in the morning and at night or stuff.
Yeah,
Or, like
I remember
the
when that was
videos
a
of the
thing.
clowns that would just pop out in people's cars in like the middle of Tennessee and shit. Like they'd be like driving through a big ass cornfield. Like imagine like in the middle of nowhere, just that one way back street, and the fucking clown just pops out.
Run him over.
I saw plenty of videos where the dudes get out with bats.
Get
and
out.
smash
Hell no.
those fucking clowns. And then there's plenty of videos where people just skirt off.
Low key, I'm not gonna lie, those are my favorite videos. When somebody's pranking someone and then they get wrecked for that dumbass prank.
I saw.
But like, I don't even know if it was a prank at that point. Like, weren't they actually hurting people?
Yes, the clown thing wasn't a prank.
They were
The
actually
footage
like
of the clown stuff. So there was clown pranks. That's a since YouTube was a thing, there's been clown pranks. But this was actually people doing harm on purpose in clown costumes, and then the videos were just coming from like dash cam videos or people taking it with their phone when they would see them. But like these guys were out there doing harm or purposely scaring people, not making content out of it, or at least we didn't see any content from the clowns.
Yeah.
themselves.
I remember when
People girls getting kidnapped, little kids getting kidnapped by these clowns. Yeah,
when that was a thing, I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and I remember I went to Orlando for my cousin's birthday, and one of my friends knew that I was there, and he decided to make a clown like Facebook account and started texting me and was like, I know where you are. I'm going to come get you. You're in Orlando. You're going to Disney tomorrow. Like, and I'm like, Mom, the clown's coming. And like, was literally about to cry. And then he was like, haha, it was me. And I was like, bro, because that was literally when like everybody was talking about that.
Bruh.
That was scary, honestly.
That's funny though.
Like, that was on the
That's
news
kinda
and
funny.
everything. Did you not ever hear about that?
I mean, I think I heard something about that, but I don't think
Yeah,
I
It was
paid
on
too
the
much
news
attention.
and everything.
I remember I was like freshman or sophomore year. I was still walking to the bus and like thinking in my head, well, I gotta watch my back for a fucking clown now, because it was happening everywhere, not just in the BFEs of Tennessee and shit or wherever.
Yeah, that was your freshman year.
That was my freshman or sophomore year. I knew I was still walking.
I want to go check. I think somebody sent me a very funny video. I'm gonna send that to Miggy, see if we can get that going. I don't know who he was now. Probably not gonna be able to pull it up.
Damn, YouTube
Oh, well.
sucks, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I won't be able to
It's
pull
not
it. I don't
showing
think.
me something I want to see here. Can you figure that out?
What?
I can't see current. Like, where's the live viewer count?
Oh, I don't know. On the phone, on the thing, it
I don't
tells
know.
me right there.
I don't know. I can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Why? What are you doing?
I'm trying to see. It won't show me the live viewer count.
16 watching now.
Oh, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, guys, while you're there, because I know there's bunch of people right now online, could you please hit that like button? That'll help us a lot. It'll help the algo. Somebody made fun of me because I said algorithm. But yeah, it will help us,
Arthur
Get
said
up there.
YouTube the best.
Huh?
Arthur said YouTube the best.
YouTube is the best. What do you mean?
Look at this. What he said.
YouTube the beat the best.
Did you guys hear about the tragic earthquake in Turkey?
No.
I did not.
What? Really? 7.8.
Oh yes, I did. I keep seeing it on Instagram that they're pulling
7.8
people
in
out of
Turkey.
like from under the houses.
Over. Last I looked, there was the 7.8 count. Yeah, on the score, and over 19,000 dead so far.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of video of them
tens
pulling out like little kids. Like one of the ones that I saw, the older sister, like she was still little. She like covered her little brother, and they were there for like over 24 hours just waiting.
So it happened in Turkey and Syria, like, because it hit the border between them two.
So about 30 years ago, there was a huge earthquake in Armenia, and my aunt was one of the research group people that was actually like doing the research about the earthquake and stuff like that. And that's how she ended up actually coming to the United States. The University of Baltimore invited her as a fellow to work with the University of Baltimore and share this research, and that's how she ended up in the United States.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
So right now the death count is at over 20,000. It's 20,783.
Wow.
Updated 7 hours ago, so probably higher at this point. 68,000 non-fatal injuries. It displaced 313,000 people. So it fucked up the lives of 313,000 people.
So you know what's really crazy is in Japan, like since back in the day, they build their buildings like against tsunamis and things like that.
Yeah.
And those buildings are still standing. But yet, like with the modern technology, we can't like take that architecture and then just make it modern. You know what I mean? Like if it's already been done, like why not use it? It's like wealth of knowledge. You know what I mean? Why not use that?
I'm
Especially
sure it
in
has to do with practicality, expenses. You know.
that's what I'm saying. But it's been what 400-500 years, 600 years since then. You know, thousand
Yeah, but
years.
for them to make a building that is built to those same standards nowadays would actually be more expensive and less cost effective compared to how they do it now. Bro, cheaper is better. That's how those people look at it. Cheaper is better.
Cause yeah, there was I was going there. I was going shopping. I go to shopping to Costco, and right next to it, they were building like an office building, bro. They built an office building. It was all like metal.
See if you can find a clip of turkey and Syria for us to see.
So the entire off the building is out of like huge metals, but the inside it they had these like tiny, skinny, metal like stainless steel. What it looked like stainless steel. Like instead of like 2x4s, they were using the stainless steel ones to like create the frames and or like the rooms. I guess the
Yeah, the other
offices.
day I went to the house where I did the big ass doors at that I was telling you guys about. That house is not built like any other house you've seen. It's built like a Home Depot. In the sense that the walls are metal, like metals, like just like metal planks that kind of link together. They tie the insulation to the walls. I mean, the house wasn't finished yet, clearly, but it wasn't a block or a frame house like we're used to seeing. It was made with these metal beams, and they had the tension wires to keep it all sturdy and stuff. It was really weird.
I got the video up. You guys see it here?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not one with wait, just before you show it to them, pre-watch it, please. That's all I have to say. Before you show it to them, just make sure you watch it.
Oh, it came out.
Yeah, because he didn't start the video, but he was just just in case.
Oh shit! Damn!
Oh my god, that's so
Shit.
scary.
Okay, I think that's fine, right?
Yeah.
We can show that.
Sure. I don't know
Damn,
why
that's
not.
crazy though.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, my buddy was telling me about how it happened, and he was explaining the kid that we had call into work today. So now they can see it now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro, holy shit. And that must have been at the very beginning, right? Yeah, make sure you pre-watch it.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Damn.
That building just like collapsing out of nowhere.
It looks like they
And I'm
did
guessing
it.
there
Yeah,
was people in there. Kind of looked like an apartment building.
it
type
literally
of
looked
thing.
like how when they demolish buildings on purpose, right? When they put all
That's
the
what- that's
explosions
what I was
around
gonna
the
say.
base and it just boof collapses on itself.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. We gotta stop watching this. We have to do the live reaction. They can't see that yet.
What are you doing, Miggy?
Just
Pre-watching
making
to
sure
make
that he
sure there's
sees it, so
nothing-
we don't show anything on. I mean, he's getting
mean,
it
it's
off of
on
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, so-
I guess it's fine. Go ahead and just show it, Miggy. If it's already on YouTube. Damn, the audio on that part is shit. You hear that? It's just that whoever was taking the video. Yeah. I know, but
All right,
it
just
was
turn it off. I mean, we get it.
yeah. We don't gotta see that more of that. It's all right.
That's crazy though. You know what I mean?
And you think about it, and it's just like you can't have another thought, but more of like it could have been us. Like right, like it can't be anywhere in the world. Like of course, more places are like we don't get earthquakes in this part of the U.S. and stuff like that, but Mother Nature's everywhere, brother. If
So
it's
when
not
I was a little
earthquake, it's
kid, that's what I'm
hurricane,
saying.
It's tornadoes and whatever.
Where the earthquake happened, I actually remember this. Where earthquake happened, like we actually felt those earthquakes, which was like miles and miles away from where the actually epicenter of the earthquake was, and I think it was like a 7 on the Richter scale, and or close to 8 or something. I don't remember exact number, but I think it was 7-ish. But we lived on a 5th floor, and back then we had these like, I don't know, like these cases with like plates and stuff like that, like dowry plates and stuff like that, and
Like, kinda
those
what's
things
at
went just
Eddie's
like
house.
it's crazy.
Arthur said the plates moved by 10 feet. And the earthquake that just happened is what he's saying.
The plates move?
tectonic plates.
Oh, tectonic plates.
So
Move
the
10
tectonic.
feet.
That's how
10
earthquake.
feet,
You
that's
know,
a lot.
you know what he's talking about, babe?
Yeah.
She took science.
Yeah, so anyway,
10 feet,
it's
that's a
crazy.
lot.
So I've been through one, and I know what it
Yeah.
feels like, especially being on the 5th floor when everything is moving even more.
I've
It's
never
a
been in
crazy
one, but when
feeling.
we went to Puerto Rico, that's all I could think about.
Why?
Cause like I've heard that they happen over there like kind of often, not that bad, but like they happen.
Yeah.
Like Melanie, I think she told me like one time she was there and she's just laying on the bed with her cousin and she could just feel everything shaking. So while we were there the whole time, all I could think about was like,
That sounds
God,
scary, bro. That
please,
sounds really
not,
scary.
not now.
Yeah.
Wind is one thing, but the whole base of you moving.
It's like.
Do you
can
guys know
imagine-
what they changed the UFO names to?
What?
Huh?
What is it now?
UAPs,
UAPs?
What is a
unidentified aerial phenomena.
Oh, it's a phenomenon now, huh? Interesting.
Why you gotta change it though? What's the
Yeah, like why fix
what was the
what's,
problem?
like
Because
Can you see what
why
that was?
fix something
So
that's
on
not
it-
with
broken?
UFO.
Unidentified flying object. That could be debris. It could be a balloon. It could be
Oh, okay,
something.
I can see that.
something
I guess.
different. A phenomena is something extraterrestrial that they can't explain.
Wait, so what is
So,
it?
for
again?
example, Navy SEAL or not Navy SEAL, Navy pilots and Air Force men, they've been having these issues where in their sonars they have pings of unidentified objects. But every time they come up to somebody to talk about it, they get shut down. So
Yeah,
could this be like weapon systems being developed by
Oh.
other countries?
I
I gotta
don't
write
think
this down
so.
before
I
I
think it's
forget.
more like I think religion is such a big part of our communities that they can't because that would literally just it would be I think devastating. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little
Eddie's
bit of
dad
both.
made a good point.
Huh?
He said, "Where is God?" with a sad face, and I'm guessing he's meaning like during those earthquakes and
Yeah.
shit. Where's God?
Yeah, it makes you question, you know. But as I said before, you know, like if it makes you comfortable and you feel like happiness and it makes you, then go ahead and do it.
Who am I
you
to
know,
tell
doesn't
you how
matter.
to live your life?
Huh?
That's how I look at it with anything. Who am I to tell you how to live your life?
Not even
You know
who
what I
am
mean?
I to tell you how to live life. If somebody feels like content and happy and
Yeah.
at peace, if that's giving them peace, then you know, go ahead and
So
do
be
it.
it,
Like
yeah.
whatever makes you. But you know,
So, I want to look more into this because I want to be actually educated. But I was hearing how Joe and who was talking about?
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and I think it might have been when he was talking to Paul Felder, that fighter, but I'm not sure. Anyways, they were talking about how Manson was supposedly Charles Manson, by the way, is what I'm talking about. Was arrested a bunch of times, and the CIA basically had was supposedly like in on what he was kind of doing, in the sense of like they were testing basically control, like how to control, right? So the whole cult that he ran, right? I want to be a little more educated on this. Give me a second. But anyways, I found it weird that was like a actual thing. That he was connected with MK Ultra, the whole testing LSD on people and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because I know
Yeah,
they
heard
were
that.
saying that the guy that shot Kennedy, like he was like
Yeah, that too. That's how the conversation came about Lee Harvey Oswald, the
Yeah.
guy that shot Lee Harvey Oswald.
I don't know, but I don't know, Arthur. Is the what do you think about the war? Do you think Ukraine winning or it's all cover up?
That's something I'm not educated on. Maybe you know a little more than I do.
I don't know. All I can tell you is right now there's a bunch of people dying for no fucking reason, literally for no fucking reason. Because
I know that initially, like during the beginning of the war, I didn't know this till not too long ago. In order to gain the support of other countries, they had to fight up north because up north was where they didn't have that many troops. So they invaded Ukraine through Crimea, which is at the bottom, and they also have all the other land that they wanted to take. But what's his name? Zladinsky or whatever his name is. I forgot.
Well,
Zelensky.
the entire area of Donbass, which is towards the east, right? The Crimea, they already had Crimea because they annexed Crimea in 2014.
Correct.
And the whole thing started because NATO wanted to put their ships, and obviously Putin is fucking crazy, so he didn't want that, right? So they annexed Crimea, and the whole thing was like, there's a bunch of Russians that want to be with Russians, so they annexed Crimea. And then after that, he came back with the same thing because Crimea wanted to be part of, I think, UN, right? And then he started the whole war around Kiev and Donbass area, right? So all I can say, he's a dictator, right? And he's been coming up and saying like, well, United States does the same thing, as what we're doing. Nobody talks shit about the United States, but there's a clear difference between United States and Russia. Like, you can't even compare them. Like, United States, let's think of United States as a ripe, beautiful apple, and let's think of Crimea as I don't know, fucking cow shit. Not Crimea, but Russia. Thinking about cow shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't compare these two things. Clearly, who's got a better life? Is it better life in the United States or better life in Russia, right? Like, you can't really compare these two things. And he's just being a dictator and then pushing this agenda. I mean, are they winning? I mean, I don't know, because Russia does have their military strategy is this, like, let's go over there. If we can steamroll them, we steamroll them and take the area. But if we cannot steamroll them, we step back, cut them off from all the supplies and everything, and we just wait until they're going to wave the white flags and take over.
So apparently, there is a reporter named Tom O'Neill who spent 2 decades researching the link between Charles Manson and the United States government.
Okay, we're going back to Charles Manson. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a little more educated now. Anyways, some people say conspiracy theory, but this guy legit dedicated 2 decades to researching this, and he's a legit reporter. Anyways, he wrote a book called Chaos. It's about this. Regardless of that, what I was trying to say was, apparently Charles Manson was let go on multiple accounts because he was helping the CIA test the stuff for MK Ultra to control people. Like, they're basically, that's what MK Ultra was about, mind control, right? Apparently he
Wait, say that again. What?
MK Ultra? You never heard of MK Ultra? The whole
MK Ultra?
MK Ultra, you never heard of that? No? MK Ultra it's another conspiracy kind of thing, right? Where the government apparently was testing on humans to figure out mind control with LSD and a bunch of other drugs. Anyways, apparently there's a huge link between Manson and the CIA. Apparently Manson was provided stuff to test on his groupies and his cult providers.
No shit.
Yeah. And that's why they were letting him go. Because he was kind of proving that they were right in the sense that he was getting these people to kill people.
Well, not only that, he was a sociopath. He was crazy. Like,
yeah, he was absolutely fucking nuts when you talk about Charles Manson. But anyways, I heard this the other day and I go, that sounds weird.
Well, just like I was saying before, like, there are things that we think are crazy.
I turned mine down. I
I turned mine down really good. It's like I turned it up and then I was like, nah, I can't do this.
You don't want to do it. You want to turn it up.
Yeah, so like there are things that we don't know, right? Like if we knew actually what's going on. Chaos is a good book. This 60s were crazy. So when you try to figure out what's actually going on, you might like start thinking completely differently, because these people, like, it's my job. Like, they kind of disassociate themselves from things and like, this is my job, I have to do this. Like, a lot of people go with that. A lot of people feel like this sense of like, I have to do this for my country, so they chuck it to that, because you have to kind of like separate yourself. It's kind of like when doctors and nurses get used to people passing away and things like that, they become callous. So you gotta get callous to that. So it's difficult, man. Like, I don't think this is for everyone, and I think that's why they have these secrets. Like, we constantly cry, like, conspiracy theory, we should know the truth. But if we knew the truth, like, how could you digest that? Like,
I get what you're saying. Not like they can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
they can't handle it. Like, it's movies. I get what you're saying, but who are you to keep that from me? At the same time, I'm supposed to be here providing you taxes to run this country, and be you're like, how in the sense in our government is supposed to be, you work for me. But how like every time a white guy gets pulled over, he's like, well, the cop works for me, so I'm the guy. I'm his boss.
I think it's crazy though, because we lived in like a controlled environment, but we have freedoms. For example, in China, they don't have any freedom per se.
Correct.
But
So what I'm trying to say, if something that comes out is there's a likelihood of a chaos is huge or anarchy is huge. They have to, like, this is what we pay in taxes, right? So they keep anarchy and chaos at bay. So if
I
that's
also
going
do
to create
think that's a
anarchy and
bad.
chaos,
I think that happens in certain cases, but I think that's a bad excuse that gets used a lot in times that maybe they shouldn't be keeping it behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
yeah, but for one person yes, and for the other person no. So they're gonna have to take the most conservative route, right? So it's hard to say. I mean, yeah, are there things that they're not telling us? 100%.
Have you seen the show Mindhunter?
Mindhunter. That sounds.
Very fucking good.
Isn't
show.
it about like when they're going to the jails to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the guy interviewed Manson when he was in jail.
Mhm.
That show is super good. It basically, they came up with the term serial killer.
Oh, that's right. Because this show is about like the whole BAU unit, where the like behavioral analysis unit.
Yep. They
Because
go
back then they
around-
thought it's like one of those hey how are you, like sciences. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They had it very black and white, and this guy said, "No, there's gray, motherfucker." And he came in and showed them, well, it's not just as simple as Charles Manson was a bad person. And I remember he in the show, of course, he went to the city where Charles Manson did all this stuff, and he tried telling these cops this, and that was the first thing that came out of his mouth. So these cops were like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course, Charles Manson is a horrible dude. Yes, he's a horrible dude, but it's not the answer of why he was able to commit all these things. It's not as simple as that. That's what he was going around and saying, and he finally got people to understand that it was.
Is that what you're looking at to lower your volume?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I was actually looking at myself
Oh.
in the thing.
Damn, sociopath. No, joking.
And yeah, he kind of went around first and was like saying this, kind of preaching this to these cops, and the cops were like, bro, what are you talking about? All these guys are horrible. You're gonna come and tell me that? Damn, what was that guy's name? The one who puts on the girl's shoes.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, he's like, yeah, you gotta tell me that's not a bad dude. Yeah, he's a bad dude, but he's mentally ill. It's not that he just wanted these. Basically, he tried to. He wrote the book on profiling serial killers, right? The initial like guideline on profiling serial killers, and he showed that serial killers aren't just these bad people that want to do bad things necessarily. They have these bursts of these outbreaks of emotion and stuff, and that's all because of mental illness and stuff like that. It's very interesting to watch, and then he gets crazy. The guy goes crazy himself. It's cool. In the show, at least they show it goes crazy himself. He starts like saying like really erotic things to get the prisoners to talk. Like he calls one, like he's talking to one of the guys, and to get the guy to open up, he just goes, "Yeah, she was a perfectly ripe little bitch," or something like that. And then when he takes the tape to his boss, or actually no, it's his partner that goes, "Hey, you might want to lose that tape."
Yeah.
And he goes, "What are you talking about? If the boss hears you saying that perfectly ripe little bitch or whatever it was that he said, just because you were trying to get it out doesn't mean like it was okay." And like the guy went crazy himself because he didn't care what he had to say. He wanted to know what he wanted to know.
He said
So
it'd be-
I don't know, man.
PTK.
Like,
That was one of the other ones. That's not the one I was talking about. Talking about because there was more than one guy I think that wore the shoes. Is it? I want to know.
So in a book he was talking about like what if you like take these sociopaths and put them on an island? What would happen? Are they gonna just like use up all the resources on the island and then they finally die off, or like how would they survive? Because I mean it's only 4% of the society, right? Like so it's
I
actually
think the
keeping them at
sociopaths would
bay.
understand that they need each other to survive.
You
know what I
think
mean?
so, or they
Yeah.
would just like kill each other because there's no law, there's nothing out there,
No.
like there's nobody to like manage them. They would just try to outdo each other. You know what I mean? Who's smarter? Who's more cunning? And then eventually, like there would be like this grandmaster sociopath that would like live on an island and then just like kill himself because there's nobody else he can like torture.
I don't know if just because you're a sociopath necessarily means you could tolerate the loneliness.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to make that. Yeah, I think they would all understand that they need each other, even though they don't care for each other. They understand that they need
E.D.
each other.
Kemper.
Ed Kemper.
Ed
Yes,
Kemper.
Ed Kemper. Is his name? I don't think he was the BTK guys. I'm not sure. Maybe that was his nickname. But yes, Ed Kemper is the one you're talking about.
Mm.
Or what I'm talking about.
No, I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
man.
I
Like
think-
I'm saying, there's so many questions. Like, you know, as normal people, you go about your day and you don't like think about this stuff, and then but yet this stuff exists. And then the book was bringing up, it's like, okay, well, if that's only like 4% of our society, every time you turn on the news, like somebody got killed, this happened, that happened, somebody did this, somebody did that. Like, are these 4% responsible for all this shit,
No.
or like society's kind of like a little bit messed up
Yeah.
in one way or another way?
Because being a killer or somebody who commits murder doesn't make you a sociopath, and nor does being a sociopath make you a murderer or somebody who's capable of killing somebody. So you can't label it that way in the sense of like, well, because we have 4%, but then there's this many murders. Well, yeah, because me or you can get mad enough and kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Anybody could, and we all have the ability. It's like, oh, well, I could never, bro. You could.
Well, and then it was
And it
raising the
takes
question.
this much time.
Yeah, and then she was raising the question as far as like for example, like more conservative societies. Let's say you have a sister or brother that has a Down syndrome or whatever. It like once parents cannot take care of this child, then it's like your duty to take care of it. It's an actual duty, right? Where versus she was comparing that to the United States in the books. Like, well, in the United States, it's more of a choice: do I take care of or not? You know what I mean? So the like. It was also saying that whole nurture part plays a big role in this as well. So, and then the question was like, all right, so if the society with a little bit less consciousness doesn't think it's a duty or it's the right thing to do, are they gonna have more developed sociopaths versus societies that don't? You know what I mean?
I don't. I don't think that. I think being a sociopath is something that you're gonna be like, not in a sense born with, not like a genetic defect, but it is a mental illness. You know what I mean? Like you're either a sociopath or you're not, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think how society like develops one way or has one kind of ideology is gonna determine whether or not we have more or less sociopaths. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. But then, you know, at the same time, I do know a lot of. Now, again, I'm not a medical professional, can't diagnose shit, you know. But I also know people that like constantly play the victim card, constantly like.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them a sociopath. Like what you said earlier. Oh, a big thing to see if somebody might be a sociopath or if they play the victim a lot. But somebody who plays the victim a lot also doesn't have to be a sociopath.
Yeah, that's true.
They could just be a manipulative asshole. They still care about their mom. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I get it. But like, what the question was like, when you don't have the sense of duty and the consciousness level is a little bit more, the barrier is lowered. Does that make people have less consciousness, which brings out the sociopathic tendencies? Does that, not being a sociopath, but like bring out the tendencies that you would like. Let's say you decided to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, and you know there's something wrong with the item, but you mask it in a sense just to sell it. Somebody comes in and you sell it to them, and they buy it, and then they're like, "Well, bro, it's your problem now." You know what I mean? Because like, kind of, I just bought this amp, right? Like I didn't check it. Like I had to fully trust the guy. If I
did the
didn't
same
trust
thing
the
with my
guy,
headphone amp the other day too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The one I bought the other day, I met up with a guy in a parking
Yeah,
lot. I
like
had to take it
what
home.
I'm trying to say, like people innately, we have like this thing. People innately are not bad. Like they're not trying to like go out of their way and cause harm to other people. Like yes, we do get crazy with our opinions and emotions sometimes, you know, and we talk about things and we want it to be this way or that way. But innately, we don't want to cause trouble or like or wish bad upon somebody, you know. Like sometimes you get pissed off, like, oh, I wish this happened to them, but then you think about it, it's like, nah, man, I would not be happy if that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we innately are not that. Like, so that's where this trust comes in. It's like, listen, I gave you the money, you told me it works, I'm gonna trust you. You know what I mean? Where in a sociopath's case, they would sell it to you and like could be completely wrecked, and you bring it home and
That's like
shit.
if your car has like a problem with you, like let's say it's making a noise, you figure out a way to make the noise stop without actually fixing the problem, sell the car, and then like 2 days later the person's like, what's this rattling
Your
sound?
brother did not sold it to somebody, but hey, remember when it started knocking his old Lexus? Remember it started ticking, and he just took
No,
it.
he fixed it.
I thought he just like
No,
heavy
no,
oil and traded
bro,
it.
he fixed it. He took it to Lexus. They told him it's gonna be $2,000 to
Yeah.
fix it, and the whole thing was.
But I thought he
it was
traded
just
it in with something wrong with it, and like he made sure
No.
they didn't see it.
I don't
Oh
think
no,
so.
you know who did that? My dad with the truck, is what it was. The dad.
Well, that was to the dealership. Who cares? They were lying to you when they're selling.
Exactly. That's why I said it wasn't a person at least.
Yeah. That was-
They got enough money.
But what I'm saying, the thing, bro, look at this. He took this to Lexus, and yeah, Alex, we're having the same conversation as we did earlier today. So he took it to Lexus, and there was like this rubber seal that needed to be replaced, and they told him $2,000. Bro, the rubber seal was like $2.50 or
Just
something
the
like
labor,
that.
right? To take that all apart.
Huh?
To the labor to take it all apart was so
Yeah,
expensive.
I guess they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna drop the transmission and this and that." Bro, he did that in my front yard without dropping the transmission and fixed it like within, I don't know, took him like 2-3 hours. And he's not a Lexus mechanic, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
had some extra parts afterwards, but
That's okay. A few extra screws.
Yeah. I think if you, I think it's funny. A lot of people are like, well, I could never work on a car. And it's not that hard. You know what I mean? And if you like it a little bit, it's not that hard to get into. You know, and you don't need to be a licensed mechanic to do basic stuff. Now it's like, well, I'm going to, like, I love that it was like you have the opposite too. I remember when I was in high school, and I've always been into cars because of my dad and being around Arthur and Jorge and all them and stuff. And I remember I would hear kids like, yeah, I'm going to rebuild my engine. It's like, you're going to rebuild your engine. Motherfucker, you know what that means? Yeah, this and this and this. Well, you realize that the head needs to be resurfaced? What do you mean? Oh, shit. What the hell are you thinking, bro? What are you thinking? Like, I know so many guys who would build motors and they just
but see, like I think
blow
like
them up.
being into cars, I think you would have still been into cars, even if you were not around your dad, even if you were not around
No,
Arthur
I
or
don't
Jorge,
know.
you would have been into cars. I think
don't
it's
think
like
so.
a guy thing.
No.
Like especially
No.
when you were
That's
young.
bullshit.
No?
Miguel's
That's
not into
bullshit.
cars.
Miguel does not like cars.
Look at him over there shaking his
Yeah.
head. I think it depends on who you are around for sure. Of course, there's some
It's
that
who you grew up around.
there's some guys
100%.
that might never be around any car guys and become a car guy. That's also
Yeah.
possible. But I think it just, I don't know. Like for example, Eddie's not that much of a car guy because of the fact that he still hasn't fixed his car. If he was a car guy, his car would have been running a year ago.
Oh, I was.
That's
a
what I
car
mean.
guy. I was.
Yes. Now he's a computer guy. Now
Nah,
he's a
bro.
nerd.
Here's the thing. I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong. You have dispensable cars at your house where you can at the drop of a hat pick up the car and go. So this car is taking a back burner because you like you kind of think about fixing it, but then like that's there. It's so much easier to grab that and go. Like if those cars were not there, bro, like that car would have been fixed.
That's true.
That car would have been done
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah.
Like
that's
could
for
nobody
sure.
want to
It's-
fucking
it's
take
either-
one of those kick little things and drive to work?
And
You know what I mean?
It's also this. It's just
It's
like
either the two cars that are there or his personal Uber.
the f-
Listen, he buys you slushies sometimes.
the four
So stupid.
going on 4.5 now years I've had that car. Since the first day, it gave me troubles,
Yeah.
and so I just got sick of it. Absolutely sick of it.
This
And
is a lesson
but at
you
the
should
same
learn,
time,
guys.
At least fix. Like, here's my opinion. Take it or don't. It's up to you. Fix it and then get rid of the shit.
yeah, that's what I want to do now, and that's what I'm gonna do.
you know what I mean. Just fix it, get rid of it, and then whatever money you got, like you're using other cars, save that money until something comes up. You know what I mean?
Archer said, bro, he doesn't even know where the screws go that he took out.
That's bullshit. I do know where they go. You dumb sack of shit.
Those screws got so much rust on them, right? I don't even know you could be able to shove them back in.
I had 3 cars one time and one would break down. I would still fix it.
Cost benefit. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, cost benefit. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt.
The thing is, he's still paying insurance for the car to just sit there.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
So the car's not sitting there for free.
No, yeah, no.
Bro, I'm gonna get your mom to do the little flip flop trick on you. That thing boomerang hit you in the back of the head.
Guys, this is a lesson to take and not buy the first car you go see when you're looking for a car.
What's that?
I said this is a lesson to take and not buy the first car you go see when you go to buy a car.
Well, how old were you when you bought that car?
But his dad was with him.
I know, but how old were you?
I was 17.
Yeah, you were excited. It was like first, like
So
kind of
look,
faster car.
Look. When I went to go pick up that Subaru, we walk in, everything. We test drive the car. Da 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 da. And my dad tells me, "You want it?" And I go, "Yeah, of course I want it, but let's go look at more." I even told him like let's wait.
Matt, look, Matt, bro. Fix it, put it on Toro, let it make money for you.
That
heck is
Subaru
Toro?
wouldn't last a day.
The heck is Toro?
Arthur's like, can I buy it for $500? Bro is about to get a bidding war going on in this chat.
Anyways, we get the car, and my dad, being my dad, he was so happy to give me that car because he knew I was going to be super happy.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was like, let's just get it now. And he was okay with that. And, the next day.
Yeah, I think about to sell it for $600.
Yeah, right? And he's the owner. He's the actual owner of the car. What is he going to buy? And being who my dad is, he wanted to just make me happy. And so he said,
well, yeah, obviously,
if this is the car that you want, and he test drove it, he said, this one's fine. Let's just get it. And it was a good price. Yeah, it was.
What kind of Subi is it?
It's a
It's a
Subaru
WRX. But which one is it?
It's a 2009 hatchback WRX.
There we go, Alex.
If anybody else wants to buy it.
Well, there's already bidding war. They're
I
about
see
to
that.
sell it for $600. I don't know, man. In my opinion, I would just fix that. You know what I mean?
I'm about to put it back together, and I started taking apart the dash because I needed to fix the clutch. But I'm about to just put it back together as it is right now, and sell it as is. Get enough money from it for a down payment. Because if I fixed it, it'd be worth double than what.
What's wrong with it now?
So it's just got the suspension on it is blown, but I have brand new suspension at the house to put in, brand new OEM suspension. I have the clutch. It's not just the clutch; it's the whole pedal assembly.
Look, Alex about to buy your car, bro. I'm a sucker for a hatchback.
Well, it's not in
He
a very
said,
good
"Is it
condition.
for sale?" Yes, it's for sale. Take
Yes,
it right
is.
now.
It is for sale. It's not in very good conditions. The front end, I got into a little accident, so the hood is all bent up. The bumper's still good enough. It just needs to be repainted. The fenders just need a little straightening up. But then, yeah, I need a new hood. But it's got a brand new motor in it. It's got a brand new JDM.
Suspension?
It's suspension, pedal assembly, front end work, and then the whole thing needs a paint job by now because it's been sitting.
But that's
But
like
yeah.
cosmetic
But it's
shit
got
that you don't really need.
It's got a brand new motor that's got less than 45,000 miles on it.
Terrible salesman.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell it. I mean, I want to sell it, but who cares right now? Anyways, it's got a brand new motor in it. I bought a closed deck motor from Japan, so I won't have the head gasket problems that everybody makes fun of Subarus for. It's got a brand new clutch in it, a brand new Greddy. Is it a Greddy? Yeah, a Greddy OEM clutch in it. I mean, it's in good condition in the sense that it just needs to be fixed up, and it could be drove around for a while.
The interior's good.
Yeah, it's got a good interior still. The dash is a little messed up now because I had to take it apart. And the other day, my mom threw something in the back seat without paying attention and broke part of the fucking dash. Yeah, it's definitely a fixer-upper.
All I'm saying, you got to look at it this way. Like,
I just need to get rid of it and get a new car. But I also, like...
Dad said, come take a look. That's funny.
So all I'm trying to say, you kind of have to look at it this way. Like, how much... So you're saying if you do it completely, it's going to double the price, right? And then you're talking about, like, putting it together, right? So let's say you don't do the cosmetic work. How much more time would you have to invest into it besides putting it together?
He's saying, like, fixing what's wrong with it besides, like, the paint
just
job.
So basically, just to get it running to the say, like, so somebody can come test drive it, and it's just cosmetic, right? Brand new suspension is in, clutch assembly done. It'd probably... I don't know how long it would take me to do the suspension. I can't imagine too long because the suspension...
we've done suspensions with my brother in my front
I've
yard.
done it before.
Like
not
half
on
day,
that,
not
not on
even.
that car, but I've done... I've, like, helped people install coilovers and stuff. But, That suspension setup is really easy because it only has one lower control arm. Like most cars will have a lower, a mid, and a high. That shit just has one lower big ass one. It's not a hard thing to do. I could probably do it in a weekend. Like if I started on a Saturday, I could do it.
So that means 2 weekends at least?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, in reality.
We can record it for the
I've
podcast.
spent a few hours on it in the past couple weeks trying to take apart the dash. But fuck, that dash is a fucking bitch. Every time I go to look up videos, everybody's doing it differently, and I just can't get it to pry open.
YouTube University, bro. Like,
It's not working for me.
no.
It
Do you,
usually
do you
does.
not have the right tools?
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's just like everybody who does the videos on it, it's all a bunch of time lapse. So it's fucking super fast. And I'm like trying to watch super slow to see where you got one screw or another screw that might be holding it. I don't know. The pedal assembly thing is really easy. If I can get the dash taken apart, it's literally two screws into the assembly that's loose. Because basically what it is the pedal assembly has this big plate that attaches to the firewall at the top. And that plate just is attached by two little TIG welds from factory. And the firewall on those cars are really flimsy and stuff. And they're made out of plastic.
Bro,
And
Matt has a good point, man. A weekend to make a couple of grand? Think about it.
brother doesn't know the whole story. Like I said, I spent 4 years working on this car. I did all the stuff myself. From the first day I got the car, it had problems. I had to take it back to the dealer. Ended up having to get a whole new turbo. Like, bro, I could name off a bucket of things that I did to that car. It's just one of those things, bro.
It's one of those things you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, and sell it.
Yeah, I know, and I've done that plenty of times, like when I built the motor. And I'm not saying I'm right. You guys can bash me all you want, because I know. And
All I'm hearing is excuses.
And I know I'm wrong.
Real.
Yeah, and I am giving excuses. That's exactly what I just told you. I know I'm wrong, but what I'm trying to tell you is it's just one of those things where it's like I've spent so much time on it for it to punch me right in the face again. And like Rocky said, yeah, no, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Well, fuck you, Rocky. It's hard.
Well, all I'm trying to say, you're gonna have these issues, right? Like, as long as you put this shit together.
It's not a good time, brother. It's not a good time. Subaru
Bro,
sucks.
you trying to buy it, and you trying to tell him it's not a good time?
Well, no, all I'm trying to say, like, yeah, that's like life. It's gonna fucking suck you in the face, and all you gotta do either suck it up and leave with it, or just consistently avoid it, right? So, it's kind of like
I started punching other things. Is what I did. The podcast, the business, construction.
Ninja. I've been asking you to check out the videos on Google Drive for 4 days straight.
The other ones I did check out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, until your girlfriend came in and gave me the
ones from today, because you sent them to the wrong email originally.
It's like a bad investment, like investing Tesla at 400 but letting it fall to 100 while it's at 200 because you don't want to count it as a loss, but then it burns a bigger hole. Yeah. You know what? My dumb ass, bought the Tesla at 180 and then it went down to 120. I was like, God damn, now it's back up. So I'm kind of happy about that. But then I was thinking to my head, like, the amount of Tesla shares that I bought, what if I bought them at 120? Like, my profits would be so high right now. But then I was like, it is what it is.
I find it funny that everybody comes up to me. He's like, oh, you're not invested in even like coin? Because especially when they find out that I'm into computers and stuff. Like, oh, you're not invested in coin? No, I've never put $1 into stocks, coin, nothing. I've got $5 in free Bitcoin when I signed up for Coinbase. That's
$5 whole dollars.
Yeah, it's maybe.
That's something.
It's probably at what?
It depends when you signed up for it.
Yeah, right. If it was I think it was at bottom. It was at like 16K. Right now it's going up again.
Oh shit! So you got more than now.
I might
Oh
have
damn!
$5
Millionaire!
and a
Millionaire!
I might have $5.25.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Matt, what you said, basically that's the point it's getting to. Me and my father almost agreed day to day. Basically, I will just be selling the car as is. Get a few grand, because I can still probably get 4 or 5, maybe not 5, but like probably $4,000 as is right now, as it's sitting. Even if they have to fucking get a tow truck, like I can
Honestly,
probably get 4.
when you should have done
but
this,
if I fix it, I can get 9, 10.
when you should have done this, is you should have done it a year ago. You probably got 9 and 10 the way it is then, when nobody could find cars.
No, actually, it would have been worth less
Yeah?
a year ago. It's because the market right now is.
Right now is high. Well, then don't wait. Shit.
Yeah, I'm about to just sell it for the 4 to 5 though, as is, and then I'm gonna probably use that for.
Well, how much would be your total investment? Like, what would be your net profit on it if you did all of it?
Shit, I don't know.
How much would you spend? Let's say fixing all this shit
got
and then
it.
painting.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, but then what would be? Would you
Well,
have a
it
net
depends on
profit?
who you go to.
Basically, maybe it would cost me probably close to 2,000 if I did
to
everything.
paint it and whatnot.
Paint it and do everything. Have the motherfucker looking.
So it would cost you 2,000 to get 5 extra. So you would like your net would be another $3,000
on top of the 4 as I'm sitting.
Bro, that's 150% profit.
I understand.
Name a business that can give me 150% profit, bro. All I'm saying, man, you just
Arthur, you don't know the Subaru market.
Huh?
He's trying to tell me I can't get 4K now. You don't know the Subaru market.
Oh, there's gonna be some kid that's gonna buy it thinking it's a project car. It's just gonna happen.
I remember
no
the
matter
day that he crashed it. Like it was like right after he had.
Well, he didn't really crash it. It was like a little fender bender.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I
Still,
was literally
whatever.
going like 4 miles an hour.
But I remember like he.
You're making it sound like
had
this
just
fucking thing is a harmonica.
No.
he had just finished like fixing it after the motor had blown, and he goes to work at the account, and like when he's leaving the account, he called me. He's like, I just rear-ended somebody, this and that. And he was so mad because the car had been broken for I don't know how long, and right when he fixes it, that shit happens.
That's the thing that has killed my.
You know, all I have to say, again, take the advice or don't. It's up to you. You do whatever you got to do. You're a grown person. But there are a couple of people sitting here, me, there's a couple in the chat that have a little more experience with this, and they're all saying do it and get rid of it.
It's already paid off.
Well, no, he's talking about
No,
like
I know, but
future
he's saying
repairs.
for
Like
future
future repairs
payments.
and
Oh, okay.
money you would need to pay, you know, and things like that. Especially if you don't have to worry about a car right now, per se, you know. And then knowing you like you're not going to buy a Kia Soul, you know what I mean? You're going to want something a little more.
He wants a truck.
I don't know if I want a truck anymore.
Then sell the damn thing. Keep your money until you
I
figure out what
remember
you want to do.
when he first finished fixing the motor, since the car was sitting for so long, there was something wrong with the doors opening and like they wouldn't unlock. Like even if you would move
Bro,
the
the
thing, it
doors are,
wouldn't
like,
unlock.
Bro, he'd be
Yeah.
lucky if that engine turns on right
we
now.
It's brand new.
went to Bailey's house and we had to stop at the gas station and I had to get down to grab something and then the door wouldn't open, so I had to crawl through the window to get back into the car because the doors weren't working.
You know what, Alex? This time I kind of agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because this motherfucker bought a Tesla.
Yeah. But then it's not really mine. Like I'm paying for it, but it's not mine. It is.
You
what
use
is.
it to go to work?
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah, so I don't
do.
know. I was thinking of getting a truck, and I still would like to maybe get a truck, but I don't know.
I'm telling him right now he doesn't need it. It's not like we have it in the house and it's like, oh, it would be nice to have a truck in the house. Like, why not just get something that you actually like a little faster and might be cheaper than a nice truck?
Not cheaper. Not cheaper. That's for sure.
But the thing with the truck is, like, I own a house. I don't need a fucking truck. I mean, are there times that I need a truck?
If you guys go to
the truck, so they would just use that. But in general, it's like one of those things. Like,
Eddy lease a Tesla.
nah, a lease is not a good deal because like, so tell you. This is how the numbers came down. The Tesla I bought, I could have leased it for like $680 or paid $800, which was a $120 difference. So I was like, all right, $120, I can scrape $120 together. Might as well buy the damn thing. And then it's mine 5 years. So I don't know if the lease is necessarily a good idea. And I've done both. I've done the lease.
And it's
I've
also
bought
a
the
car that's for your mom. It's not like she's going to want to change it.
Correct.
Like my mom has always said, like, oh, leasing is good for young people who are going to want to change their car in a few years anyways because they want what's new and whatever. So, I mean, I know, like, some people
No.
still don't even agree with that. But it's for your mom. Like,
So-
that car's going to last her forever.
Yeah, so the lease, this is how I look at the lease. So let's say you're somebody that's super busy during your life. You know, you don't want to worry about any issues that happen to the car. You're going to take it to the dealership, get it all fixed and all this. And then every 3 years you want a new car so you don't have to worry about problems. Then go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you own a business because you can write all that off and things like that. At that point, maybe, yeah, Matt, I got a Tessie. So maybe at that point, yeah, go ahead and list it. Again, this is not advice. It's
Pedro.
just like talking about things. But at the end of the day, I think because cars are really not assets, they're more liabilities than anything. So I think it's better to own the car because at least you have some sort of a.
Yeah.
No, I didn't pay for the self-driving package, but I've been thinking about like to rent it. Again, the self-driving package, if you lease in it,
I was
yeah,
explaining this to them the other day how you were telling me the rent. And
yeah. If you're gonna lease it,
Stupid.
self-driving package is worth to do it month to month because that's extra $200. But if you're gonna buy it and you're actually gonna keep it, then it's cheaper to actually go ahead and buy the car.
But didn't they put it from 10 to 15K now?
It's 15K now. It was 12 and then went to
Oh,
15.
okay.
Yeah, it's 15 now. So
So
if you
that's
think
like a
about it,
subscription.
Hmm?
That's like a subscription. Like
yes,
you can just turn it off whenever, and you no longer have self-driving.
yes. So I was thinking about getting it for a month to see if I like it, even though Ozzy has it, and I've driven in a car with him with it. It's cool.
But the thing is, your mom barely even drives a car. You drive it once a month, like you said, to work. So is it really worth it?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't get it.
And like, it's not like you guys are gonna take that car for long
The
drives.
model-
That's gonna be like, oh, all the way to Miami.
Well, you can't even do that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You
have
can't
to-
do that because it
makes you
doesn't have
touch
the level-
steering wheel and all that. No.
Yeah, it doesn't have the level 3 self-driving on it. Like Mercedes is the only car that has now been approved for self-3 driving where you don't really need your hands on a steering
Yeah,
wheel.
because it'll tell you like
Tesla, you have to
yeah.
have the steering. Yeah, so to me, I mean, it's a novelty. It's pretty cool to have it, but at the same time, it's like I'm not sure if I really would get any
Care for
benefit.
it, yeah.
Like it's cool to say that you do, but that's all it is. It's just cool factor, and I'm not planning to put it on tour or anything like that.
How soon do you think we're gonna see all electric cars? Like they're gonna how soon do you think they'll put a ban on
Self-driving cars?
not so no how soon do you think it'll be limited that we're not like allowed to drive gasoline cars?
Well, they're talking about by 2030. Biden was saying 2030, 2040, something like that. He wants to go fully electric. So once they do that, they're not going to be able to ban them because they're going to be the collectibles market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with the collectibles market, I don't know if they'll ever ban them. You know what I mean? But they're going to probably want you to put some sort of catalytic converters or something like that would prevent the CO2 emissions
Yeah.
and things like that. But I don't know if they would ever ban them. These
Yeah,
things take
they
a
are.
long time to.
I know
happen.
they take a long time, but how long do you think it'll be till we see like only electric on the road?
Only electric on the road? I say give it another. Only electric, or like you're gonna see some gas here and there.
Some gas here and there, but mostly electric. I say
So I say-
15.
I say kind of like think about it this way: like how many Chevy SS 65 or 66, 67 do you see on the road? Not
but
a lot,
that's
right?
From the 60s, that's
Well, that's what I'm
60
saying. So like if you
years from
take the
now.
60s, you got about 40 years plus another 22, about 60-year difference, right? So if they're gonna go fully electric in 2040, add another 60 years, so you'd be like 2100, year 2100. That's when you're gonna see the gasoline cars, in my opinion.
because the damn, that's a long time though.
That is a very long time. Yeah, these things don't happen right away. But then there's also technology, you know what I mean? Things like that. So
I think it's not just technology, but I think it's because eventually they're gonna put in a ban on the emissions for like we were talking about. So that's why I'm saying like within 15 years, unless you have like they get the special antique tag and shit like that.
well, yeah, before they put the ban, it's gonna be the same thing. They like he came out and said, "I want all the cars to be by 2030, 2040." I don't remember the exact number, but he's, "I want all the cars to be electric." Before that happens, he's gonna come out. Some president is gonna come out and say, "By this year, you cannot drive the gasoline cars." So by that time, people are gonna have like 10 years or 20 years to work on some sort of equipment that's gonna eliminate the emissions. And once you have this
Gotcha.
equipment, now you can drive your gasoline car. But the problem is not that. The problem is the gasoline. So the gasoline is gonna go up in price. So yeah, so the limited take-home batteries, but I think it'll get better, eventually. Oh, we actually might have a special guest, and by popular demand, I don't know if you guys can guess who it is, but popular demand, I think he was a very good speaker. I think one of the
Yeah,
best we've
everybody
had.
Arthur wants to come.
Yeah, I think he
guys
will.
can
Let me
both
let me
be
go
on.
talk to him while you guys continue this. Let me go talk to him real quick.
Did
How's
you
your
see
makeup,
what-
baby?
Huh?
How's your makeup? How's your makeup?
I did like 3-4 videos today.
So you can do scheduling on TikTok, basically where
No,
like
not TikTok.
no, you can't schedule them on TikTok.
No, only Instagram and YouTube. So I literally have an alarm on my phone every day at 2:50 to go in and upload it because it always takes a little bit to upload, and I do everything at 3 o'clock. So
Okay.
yeah,
Have you looked into setting up the camera or no?
no.
No. So we're gonna do that tomorrow.
Wait, what?
We're gonna do that tomorrow.
We can. I just need to find something to be able to mount it because I don't want to just stick it onto something random, you know, and like knock it over or whatever while I'm doing my makeup because I'm so clumsy while I'm doing my makeup for some reason.
Did you figure out what to do with the light, or did you even test the light?
What light?
The light, is it gonna be enough at 60%?
Actually, the first video that I recorded, it was at 60% because I didn't look at it and I hadn't adjusted it. And it looked fine, like the video looked good. And then I went and I noticed after, and then for the second video, I put it higher just because.
Yeah, just leave it at 60 and you can have it plugged in.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy another light for what?
No, I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah, you did.
When did I
You
say I
said
was
you were
gonna
gonna.
buy
I'm
one?
gonna have to buy another light because this one doesn't work. Da 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 da.
No, I just said that I can't use that light during the recording.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ring light isn't enough.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about setting up like a recording like area in the spare room. Like how
I'll be able to guess who it is now.
like having a backdrop set up and like a little table and like the camera, the lights, like everything have it set up in the other room, but I haven't decided yet. Cuz that would make my videos look a lot better with like a backdrop versus just my room in the background and all that.
Backdrops aren't that expensive. You can get
Yeah,
like
I can
a
just
basic.
I
What, you
wanted
trying to do,
something
white?
either just plain white cuz it might look good, or if not, look into like maybe something that's like sparkly, like light pink or something.
I don't know if that'll mess
No,
with
that's-
like the camera.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. I have to look into that if it'll look good. And
Or is there, Mika? Do you know if there's some specific color like people use for backdrops that is good for camera? Like
I've seen
setting?
makeup artists though that they'll
white is
have.
the best backdrop.
I've seen a lot of makeup artists though that they'll have like pink, purple, whatever color, and then they'll put a light underneath, like onto the backdrop, and it like looks cool. I don't know. I don't know
If
if
you
the
make
light is
it green,
necessary.
If you make it green like a green screen, you can just.
Yeah, but that shit.
But
Project.
then I would have to edit every single video.
True. They usually do.
Yeah.
I've seen them do like
But
white
then
background.
everything that's
Yeah, I
that
want
color
either
will-
white
these
just so it
roll
looks
down-
clean, or if not, like I said, like a light pink with like a little sparkle or something to like make it girly. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Or
but-
maybe like marble or something so that it's still white but not like.
Hey,
plain.
we're getting a new person.
Hey.
I like the shirt. I like the shirt.
Here, put
Put
these
on the headphones. You don't have to keep them on, by the way. I have them
Well,
on this
hello,
whole
my
time.
peeps.
Felix,
Arthur?
Felix
You can stretch
Mau
him
de
out.
Vaca Rojas.
What's
Está
that?
chiquito. Ellos se abren.
Huh?
Si está chiquito, ellos se abren.
No, it's good. I'm just not hearing anything here.
You don't hear anything?
No.
It might be
It's
down.
really low.
He said it's really low, so just put it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just the volume here.
You hear yourself though, right?
I can hear myself, but I can hear very low. But
Yeah, you don't want it high because if you have it too high,
It'll distract you.
It distracts you.
It'll get
Okay.
crazy.
great.
But
Plus,
this is
I've
just
had
to
it
help
off this
us,
whole time.
So what's going on, you guys?
What's up, brother? What'd you do today?
Like good, man. You know,
Si te lo quiere quitar, te lo puede quitar. You don't have to.
Yeah, I've had it off this whole time because I can't hear
yeah,
myself.
I
Si te
think
lo
I'm
quiere
just gonna
quitar.
have like one here.
No, if you don't want to, it's fine.
Just concentrate on your own voice.
Yeah.
That makes it
So
harder for me, at least.
No. When you're talking, your own voice.
so
when you
listen, you
talk.
guys. I've had a couple of comments like from people outside. They apparently love my participation here. I just try to be a little bit transparent about everything in life, So people honestly, they like people like transparent and really like clear with every comment. So. And that's what you guys are all about. You guys are really like clear up to the what's going on in the moment, and that's what people like need to hear. What's going on, right?
Yeah. Just talking to Mike.
That's what people just like. People just being honest.
Quítatelo, man.
Yeah,
Quítatelo.
thank you, because I was struggling,
bro,
man.
take it off, take it off.
I was like, what the hell? What the hell?
So-
Don't worry about it.
So Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian. Now, the only
Okay,
thing
bro.
I would agree with that is because he took off his helmet.
No. Boba Fett. Okay. Boba Fett nor the Mandalorian are Mandalorian. Did you know that?
What?
Brumps.
The Din Djarin, the guy that plays the character Mandalorian, right? He was not born on Mandalore. He was a foundling. He was
Okay.
basically adopted into the Mandalorian society. And Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett. You know, Jango Fett was the guy they made all the clones out of.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is one of those clones. They just made him age normally. So, you know, like they genetically modify the clones to age like instantly, right? To where they're in their prime for combat, whatever. When Jango went to the Empire, he made the deal with the Empire to, well, not the Empire, but Palpatine to do the clones and stuff. He said, "Oh, I want one for myself that grows at a normal age for my son, as a son."
So by that,
And
I feel
Jango Fett
dumb.
himself is also a foundling.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys.
I feel dumb. I don't know what.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys, and then I don't know if I'm gonna sound like a little bit bully or whatever, but what defines a nerd?
I'm a nerd.
You know,
nah, you're not a nerd, bro.
Definitely a nerd.
You're not a nerd.
what
definitely a nerd.
what defines a nerd? Because
Oh, you know
you
what?
know, and trust me, because
You're a nerd.
I'm
You
a
guys are both. You're a nerd. For
I'm
jiu-jitsu.
I'm a freak. You know, I'm a jiu-jitsu freak. You
Yeah,
know,
you're a jiu-jitsu nerd.
so that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like,
Nah.
what defines a
don't
nerd?
know.
Because and I'm gonna say this because like
I'll
you
look it up,
see,
I'll look
for
it up.
example, like I have a lot of friends like really hook on the Comic-Con events.
I want to go.
And by that I mean all the, you know, DC, Marvel, Avengers, shit, Star Wars, and all that. So I don't have anything against it. You know, that's like, and in fact, every time, you know, like when May, the month is starting, you know, and they see like, you know, the 4th of May.
May the
It's like,
fourth
oh,
be
may,
with you.
may the force with you, Star Wars Day, whatever. So, what defines a nerd? You guys, I'm hearing you guys talking about Star Wars. So that's a good topic, you know, because it's been you know, Star Wars started in the 70s.
77. Well, the movies.
The movie,
You
yeah.
had the books before that.
So again, you know, it's been what, you know, almost 50 years in the same situation. So
Anyway,
I see a lot of like people call them freaks, nerds, savvies, whatever you want to call them. But like, what defines a nerd?
For me,
Okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson
So-
is a nerd.
ready? What I thought was a nerd is actually correct. So what I was gonna tell you, I thought was a nerd was anybody who has is very enthusiastic towards.
I want the
something.
definition.
It's exactly that. A person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, and especially one of specialist or niche interest. So you're a nerd about jiu-jitsu. I'm a nerd about computers.
All right. So what's a geek and what's a dork?
All right, now you're just being mean.
No, I'm not. They're putting it up, bro.
We're-
I'm just bringing up what they're
Bro,
saying.
we gotta listen to our followers, bro. You know.
There are geeks, dorks. I don't know. I don't know the
Well, look
definition
up.
of a geek.
Shit.
Yeah, because
Dork is
like
a whale's penis.
like the
He said whales.
like we started seeing,
Geek
you know,
has the same definition as nerd.
like we started seeing, you know, the yeah,
No, but
we started seeing, you
Google's
know,
giving me the same
geeks. I think the word geek. I mean, actually, you know, it started like a long while ago, but I mean, again, I'm an old schooler. I mean, I just turned 40. That's just for our fans to see here. So I'm not a baby anymore. But back in my days, I used to, you know, I was a huge fan of like shows like, you know, Saved by the Bell, stuff like that. So you had people like, you know, Dustin Powers,
Yeah.
Screech, you know, that was Samuel Powers. I think it's Dustin Diamond was his name, you know. May he's rest in peace. But that was Samuel Powers in the show was Screech, which the guy was he was a genius. He was a very smart. It was a chess freak, bright in chess. He was a nerd geek, a nerd and everything, computer geek. And I think the word geek got popularized with Best Buy and the Geek
Technic-
Squad.
Yeah, Geek
On the
Squad.
Technique Squad. So as far as a dork and a geek, I mean, what can you say it can actually be the difference? Like,
So it's actually I would say it's a big difference because
Well, what are the
Uh,
definitions?
okay, listen,
Okay,
brother.
okay,
let
okay,
me
okay.
let me
Alright,
spit
alright,
it
alright,
out.
alright,
The definition of a geek is exactly that of a nerd. Somebody who is like very enthusiastic towards something, has a lot of knowledge. Da 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 da. Da. Now, being a dork, in the majority of the time is when someone calls you dorky. So when I look it up, it says a
Whale's penis.
socially inept person. So somebody who acts dorky is very awkward and doesn't.
So
have,
it has nothing to do with like knowledge.
No, being a dork has nothing to do with knowledge.
but as
That's what
far
I'm saying. They're completely different.
Or,
Let-
or like
let's
being
let's say
interested in something.
let's say you're trying to because again, men do everything it takes to try to hook up with a girl, and like women tend to find more attractive dorks rather than geeks.
I don't think you have that.
Oh, look at him! He's a dork. He's like kind of dummy. He just like so. But a geek is so like this guy is weirdo. So it's just fucking stupid. He's just like into like
IT
17
I get what
hours
you're
into
saying.
a specific thing that's not going anywhere.
IT guy.
So I think what you're talking about, like being a connoisseur, not a authority by any means, just a connoisseur of evolutionary psychology. I think the intelligence was part of the pre-selection, right? Like if the guy was intelligent, the girl was most likely to succeed or excel in life. So he was better of a choice for as a mate. And I think that the whole intelligence paradox like kept moving just as a mate selection process, right? Now, I think that has kind of like changed a little bit because not necessarily all the most intelligent guys have girlfriends or anything like that. But I don't know. I think you're talking about like if
That's not
somebody's
true.
nerdy and they're intelligent about a subject or they're passionate about a subject, that could attract maybe a girl, to that because how passionate they are about something. I don't know.
I've lost you guys. I'm not following.
I don't think dorks ever were a thing with girls. I think they're just more like, man, he's a dork. He's very awkward. Like they were
I think you guys
bad
have the
connotation with that.
But again, it's like
have it twisted.
it's like
That's
you
social-
kind of like stereotyping a person. I mean, I was I was thank you guys. I was part of the podcast last Tuesday, right? So
2 days ago. Wasn't
we were yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
now don't come at IT people. We get turned off.
Yeah.
Bro, you guys
so
can't
listen,
even
I was like
fix the
like
internet.
following up on the top playing sports in the world. And believe it or not, I mean, you mentioned like badminton. I was like, what the hell? Like believe it or not, chess is one of the top playing sports in the world. And usually, or either you are an intellectual person, or you are a dork, not even a geek. You
you have these definitions very twisted, my friend.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Okay, correct me. I wanna.
So a geek and a nerd are just somebody who's very enthusiastic. You are a geek and a nerd
I think in a
about
smart
about
level.
jujitsu. I am a geek and I am a nerd. It's the same thing. Geek and nerd are synonyms for each other, according to Google on the definitions they've given me. Right?
I told you,
A
dork is
dork-
a whale penis.
Is just somebody who is socially awkward, an unstylish
It is.
person. Look, someone like in America, the word dork is thrown a lot. If damn that guy's dressed like a dork. Look at those dorks, look how they're dressed, or look how they're walking. It's just somebody who's socially awkward,
yeah.
unstylish. That's really it.
So,
awkward socially.
So the being socially awkward just applies to dorks, but not geeks and nerds.
No, being a geek and a nerd is just because you're according
Like
to
passionate
Google,
about something.
passionate about something and knowledgeable about it. So you're a geek and a nerd about jujitsu, But when it comes to being a dork, it's just somebody who is socially awkward or unstylish.
But what if you're socially awkward, unstylish, but yet you're super smart and you're very interested in math?
Then you're both.
Then you're a dork, geek, and a nerd all at the same time?
All of it.
Jeffrey Dahmer, all over again.
Jeffrey Dahmer all over again.
Hey, I got a story for Alex about IT.
Go ahead.
So I had a story with Spectrum. I had Spectrum Internet, and they one day I get home, they send me a package, right? I open the package, it's a modem and a router, and I said, what the hell? I didn't order nothing. Like, what is this? So it says Spectrum on it. So I called Spectrum. I said, hey guys, what is this? Oh, the old box you have, you're gonna have to change it with the new one. This is some new device, blah blah, improved internet. I said, okay, whatever, fair. So I swap it out, and I got a big fish tank at home, and a lot of things. By the way, follow me on Instagram. It's Arthur Reef, ARTUR Reef.
Yeah, we're gonna throw the Instagrams on the bottom.
But so I put the device right, and half of my things didn't connect to the device. I made the name of the router same and the password same. Usually, it will connect all your devices.
Yeah.
So half of them didn't connect. So I call Spectrum and I say, hey, what's going on? Like, half of my devices won't connect. And I see on the where I connect to the Wi-Fi, it says 2.4/5 gigahertz, right? Before I had both separate. You have a 2.4 and 5. A lot of devices work on 2.4. They don't have the new greatest and latest.
I told you they fixed that, right?
They did?
Yeah, on mine, when they sent me the new one, it has 2 separate.
Okay. So I called them and I said, hey, how do I connect my devices? Some of my devices won't connect. You know what the guy told me? He said, you have to walk to your neighbor's yard because the 5G is shorter wavelength, and you have to walk to your neighbor's yard so the 5G cuts off and it'll reconnect to 2.4, and then this is how you can add your devices. I said, I have like 30 devices. You want me to walk to my neighbor's yard 30 times? I said, don't you think it's going to look weird? He said, that's the only thing we can do because they wouldn't let me in, go into the settings and do it myself because it's blocked.
Just crazy.
You know what I did? I got Fios. I canceled next day. I got Fios. Shout out to Fios. You guys going to sponsor the internet?
Yes, Fios needs to sponsor
I'm
us.
checking every month or so, waiting for Spectrum, waiting for Fios, waiting for Frontier, for one of these motherfuckers to give me fiber at my house. I want fiber, brother. And
Yeah, fiber is another. Bro, they won't give you fiber until they run the fiber. I'm telling you, I had construction in my entire neighborhood for like 2 or 3 months straight. And they're running cables under my ground like everywhere. And then once they did that,
I talked to Spectrum. I talked to one of the guys at so Emily, good internet story too.
Well, I have a good question. Alex put in the chat that a blue whale's door can weigh up to 22 pounds and contain 3 to 20 gallons of spunk.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
That's
I
what
mean,
I was commenting about Dork, what it means, really.
I mean, I don't know,
Whale's
but like,
penis. Legit.
Oh, really?
like,
Legit, bro.
how do you like how? I mean,
How does it know?
why is the like
He
ocean
knows.
water so salty? You know,
That's what I was gonna go.
like, bro, like seriously, like obviously, you think there's only one whale or one dolphin? Of course not, man. You know,
That's what I was gonna go to.
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah, yeah.
ocean water is salty because of that?
Yeah, man. You know, like,
Oh, shit.
I talked to the guy at Spectrum.
you know what's worse,
He's
man?
like, let's go
You know
back
what's
to
you know what's worse?
All of you guys are on a spectrum. Let's talk about
You know
spectrum.
what's the worst part? I mean, you've tried, ocean water, like that's the worst part. And now you're thinking about it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Thank God my saltwater tank is made at home.
Yeah, there's a little bit of blue whale spunk in that salt that you're mixing.
So yeah, that's my internet.
I use
provider.
synthetic
Anyways.
salt.
Yeah, they're gonna come from Clearwater down. They said they're starting in Clearwater
I mean,
and then coming down.
Bruh,
Fiber needs to happen. Everywhere.
remember Google had their
Broadband
own
is so
internet?
bullshit. I
Google
know they have
Fiber.
Oh,
their
they
own-
still have it, I thought.
They still have it in some
Google
cities.
Fiber or
Tampa
whatever.
pretty much applied to get but they didn't get approved, right? So I read about them. The reason they weren't going any further because they had this bright idea to put the fiber in a concrete, like like break the concrete about 2 to 3 inches, run the cable through that, and then seal it. But those seals were popping out,
So stupid.
so they couldn't figure out how to do it. And this is one of the reasons why Google hasn't expanded on their fiber.
Why wouldn't they put like some sort of a piping and run the line in the
Because it's a
piping?
lot of money. They wanted to do it cheaper.
But then if the cable breaks, you got to reroute it again?
Well, that's why the seal was special seal where they can take it out, redo the cable, and close it. But apparently, with heat and like weather conditions, these seals were popping out.
Conduit.
So
One word, conduit.
I'm a little bit like off the topic here, but like what happened with Tesla and their project to like the
Oh, he did it.
satellite internet. I know.
Oh no, satellite internet.
Oh, yeah, he did that. He did
No,
that.
he's
I have some
he's
friends
doing
that have
that
it.
here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Starlink,
I know yeah,
Yeah,
it's
my-
working.
my-
I have-
What-
I have
what's
a
it? What's the
friends.
name? What's the name?
Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah.
My
that's the
boss
name.
has it in his cabin. He said he's got in North Carolina. He's a cabin,
Yeah.
and there's no internet, nothing. He said that they sign up for Starlink. It's like $100 a month.
That's exactly what I was gonna tell you. I have a buddy who lives in North Carolina in BFE. They don't have any internet providers there, and he was able to get Starlink.
Yeah.
But the thing about Starlink is, the more people that start to get it in your area,
Halts
the
the
more it
signal.
slowed down.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's bottlenecking.
It's bottlenecking
Yeah, of
like
course.
crazy. So
Makes sense.
they're getting like the other day, my buddy had something happen with his computer. Another friend of mine that lives in Tennessee.
So they're getting AOL speeds.
No, so, my
AOL.
friend, he lives in Tennessee, and he has Starlink as well. One of my other friends that we hung out with in the group, Justin, and something happened with his computer. And anyways, for him to use this program or game or whatever it was, he needed to reinstall his whole Windows. And he goes, "Shit, on Starlink, fuck that!" It would take him months to reinstall all the stuff he has on his computer because that's how slow Starlink is.
Wow.
I mean,
I get 1 gig download and 1 gig.
I mean,
upload.
listen. Like, again, I'm 40 years old, right?
You still look
I've
good,
just
bro.
turned 40 in December, and I am, like, believe it or not, I'm considered a millennial. You know,
Yes.
because I'm
That's debatable. That's
'Cause
debatable because they can't figure out which
bro.
one
If
are
if you like Google the age ranges, you know,
some people say
I
yes,
am
some
I
people say no.
am a millennial. So,
82,
anyways,
up to 82, I think.
yeah, 82,
From
81, I don't know.
82,
So
They're
like,
saying 82, some saying
the-
84.
the thing
like,
is, the thing
there's
is
no
like,
clear.
okay, let's say supposedly I'm a millennial, but what I wanted to say is like you younger generation don't
Gen Z,
know
Gen Z.
don't know what we went through, you know, when it comes to like connecting to the internet, you know, like
Install a CD.
install a
find it
CD
free.
and like like a floppy disk and all that. Like you show a floppy disk to the newer generation, they don't know what you know what a floppy disk is.
Yes, I know what a floppy disk
Because
is.
he used to work on that shit, bro. Like trust me.
I knew what a
Like,
floppy disk
show
was.
Emily a floppy disk, and she don't know what
I
is it
knew what
for.
a floppy disk was
There's
before
a
I worked
floppy
at
disk
Best
and then
Buy.
there's the other one.
Here's
before
the
floppy
question.
disk, the bigger one.
Yeah.
The 3.5. What is it? 3.5 millimeter.
Do you know
basically
what's
the
a
size
C
of a hard
terminal?
They're like
Do you know what's a C terminal?
a C terminal.
Yeah.
Of course they don't know, man. You know that's part of the
Do you
thing.
know what's a DIR? What about Norton Commander?
Well, I know what Norton is.
No, Norton Commander.
No.
I mean,
What about Napster?
Yes.
Okay.
oh,
So,
LimeWire.
you're-
I use LimeWire personally. Hey. You guys are coming at me, but I had one of those old CCTV,
Yeah, Eddie's pretty good. He knows his
fucking
stuff.
old ass computers that right now the monitor was
You
the
see,
size of my computer.
our boy Alex just mentioned, millennials are from 1981 to 96. So
Yeah, I'm a
yes, I
millennial.
am a millennial. I was
Hey,
born in
Eddie, when you
82.
were born? Oh, shit.
2001.
So, C Commander, it was a... So, you know what's DOS? DOS?
Yeah.
MS-DOS? So, prior to having Windows or
I
anything
learned
like
on
that, there was
DOS.
MS-DOS. For you to run the commands, you had to do dir C to go to the drive C. And then to run something, you would have to type everything out. And there were commands that you had to know
Yeah.
to type it all up.
It was
And
like
then...
Run.exe.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Are you talking about? Yeah.
And then after that came Norton Commander. Norton Commander was more of a kind of look more like a folder would look like right now, right? Just it was
Okay.
a folder setup.
Yeah.
And then with the mouse, because back then Norton Commander, you still had to type out commands, but then they made it a little more usable where you could
kinda
use the
look
mouse. And then after that, Windows came around where he created the folders, and this is what we have right now. Now we have like cell
Hey,
phones, right?
Listen, let's not talk about where I work, but I still use Windows 95 and floppies. Just FYI.
What?
Yes, we do.
Budum, 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 budum.
They're probably on Starlink. They can upgrade to
Because, hey, let me explain. So, why we use Windows 95? Don't ask me. Why we use floppies? Because it's secure.
I mean,
terms of, like,
everybody
hardware.
knows.
What makes
Listen.
until you put it on a tower and
Listen,
then you magnetize
Listen,
it.
everybody like knows that dial-up like ring, you know, like if you were like back when my era, you know, like you were in there for that moment, and like yes, you were connected at your home, at your house, and the moment like people called you, already you got disconnected. I was like, bro, you disconnected me.
You know what's funny?
Get off the phone. Get off the
You
phone.
don't realize this, but the majority of houses still run on that same cable internet. My house still does broadband. If you don't have fiber, you're still running on broadband, which is coming through the cable through your house, like it just did before. But now it's just like 1,000 times faster.
Yeah.
Well, no, fiber is light.
Mine goes through fiber and then it goes through coax, but they put a special booster in mine because they
Oh,
didn't
yours
want
still
to
goes
run.
through coax?
Yeah, because they didn't want to run a new line, so they put it's the same
Oh
thing.
no,
I'm
mine
getting-
is direct fiber.
Yeah, but I'm still getting a 1 gig and 1 gig upload.
Well, as long as you're
so
getting the
same
speeds, it
thing.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean,
they got special
so
boosters.
talking about
like
satellites,
right now you have you know, Google back in the days was Alta Vista, you know.
Oh, I don't remember.
You know,
I thought what?
Alta Vista,
Alt-
yeah, there was Alta
Oh, yes,
Vista,
yes,
and then
yes,
there was
yes, yes.
Yahoo, Alta
Yeah.
Vista. Yahoo was like the
and
number
then
one.
and Jay was mentioning like AOL, you know, it's like oh like you got mail. That was,
Yeah, I
You
got
know?
mail.
but again, you cannot mention because I mean, if you're gonna go like retro at that point, MIRC was the
Yeah,
shit.
Merc was the shit.
The
Merc was
shit.
the shit. That was the first
The
Discord, bro.
shit.
Merc was the shit. You had like channels, rooms.
And ICQ and all that. Come on, man.
Yep.
You know? Different thing, you know.
Talk about nerds geeking out.
Well,
No,
I mean, we
that's
started
how we
talking
used
about
to
like, you know,
communicate
nerds
back
and
in
like
the day, bro.
we got to
Now
blend
you
it.
text message. Back then we didn't have that. We had to be in a chat. Like they had to be on a chat at the same time.
You know what's funny? I grew up when it was a big thing to like video call, like that. Well, when I was growing up and introduced into technology and like had my first laptop and stuff, that was really big. You know, FaceTime wasn't a thing. You had to go on like Facebook first came out with its own video calling, and
I
like,
think the first time I did video calling was in Yahoo.
I can't remember what program we used, but it was some other software.
You
Skype,
use the webcam,
TeamSpeak.
bro.
Ask G's.
You use a webcam.
Well, I mean, we've seen, you know, cartoons that are actually when like realistic, you know, and they were back in the days, and still like, you know, are pertaining to the times that we're living on now. Such as I remember back in those days when I, you know, was growing up, I was seeing the Jetsons. That was the Flintstones, Stone Age, and the Jetsons was like, oh, like futuristic, and you saw like
Flying cars.
flying cars. You saw like robots cleaning. You saw video chats. You saw like an iWatch kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
So right now that is the reality. People make fun about like not even make fun, and it's not the word, but like you see a lot of shit that that aired on The Simpsons that are actually happening.
Yeah.
And
That shit is crazy.
they
That's a
Trump
good fucking
crazy.
topic,
Dude,
brother.
the Trump
That
thing.
shit is
That-
crazy.
A lot of
a lot of shit, bro. A lot of shit. You know?
And that's something that it blows up, but then people kind of like blow over it after a week. But that's crazy, bro. Like they have so much stuff, not just the Trump shit. There's so much shit that you see, and you're like, well, that happened basically frame by frame how it happened in real life.
And that was like, that was like back in the days, we saw that as like, this is weird and stuff. All this technology that we were talking about, like when you see it now, like really old school, but again, that we're like, I mean, we saw it as like
People
my God,
thinking outside the box.
People
feel
thinking outside the box, like every day there's a new thing. Like,
Well, people always done that, right? Like even in the books and stuff before the cartoons.
Man, same thing
So,
like
yeah, I'm
in the not in the pyramid. Some sites, right? They had like planes look like F-35s drawn on walls, man. Back in the Egypt era, whatever, you know.
Now that's something crazy.
Yeah.
But what I was getting to is I'm a big believer on, like, my sister tries to say she can dream shit.
I know, bro.
You know, she says she dreamed like she had like a dream when someone passed or whatever. Like she kind of like can.
I mean,
coming.
that's I'm sorry, but that's the deplorable.
So
If
Lynette
Lynette is actually like having like dreams like that, please, Lynette, give me the lottery numbers. I would really appreciate it. Instead of you like,
But
all the damn lot.
like
that's an
please,
Instead of seeing bad news, can you tell us the
of
good
course,
news?
you can be dreaming about something more
Right.
interesting.
But
Like,
I'm a
I
big
know that
believer in-
this podcast idea and everything is good and obviously, but again, we all want to be
Lottery numbers
in
will
a
be
much better situation. So please, Lynette, like I'm kindly asking for you to dream a little bit about
What I was trying to say was I'm a big believer in that. Humans are very smart.
God damn
we-
it.
Hey, listen, if he's pregnant, he probably has cancer, right? We don't want that. We don't want that.
Oh Jesus
So-
Christ! I mean, for
that
you,
we're very smart
Yeah.
and we can put
Oh.
two and two together, right? So when things are happening in your life, you start to predict outcomes. And I just believe that we're very smart. Like, of course, there's these times like The Simpsons, like, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? But the majority of the time, it's like, well, I predicted this. Well, motherfucker, you saw the rock rolling down the hill. Of course it hit Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Like, you saw it was going to happen just because you predicted that it might have had a chance that it did something else. But then if that happened, you would have said, oh, I predicted that too.
So I have this theory. The theory that I have, especially like this usually happens, like girls are usually a little better at this.
People with ADHD or psych.
Yeah. So even people with ADHD, right? So girls usually are a little more into this stuff than guys are. It is what it is. But I think what happens, these girls are super observant in their life. They don't
That's
realize
what I
it.
believe.
They're
That's what I
super
believe. They're
observant,
super
and then
observant, super
and then they don't
smart.
realize that they're super observant, and then subconsciously they put one to one together, and then it becomes this prediction. In
Yeah.
reality, it's
I believe
just
we all
something
do
that they've
Not necessarily
observed.
men or women, like we're all just very smart, and maybe not everybody, but
I mean, no, like think about it. You kind of have to be
we
smart.
can
like,
all. But I'm saying like the majority of people with common sense can all make logical predictions, and that's what this is. A lot of times when people say, "Well, I knew this was gonna happen."
Well, you kind of think about it. Like if you look at it from this point, right? Like the current boats that we see, like they really haven't changed since back in the days. Yeah, first it was made of wood, now it's made of iron, but the whole idea of a boat is the same, right? So, but we don't know about all the other boats that somebody designed and they sunk, and that they had to redo the design. All the people that died, because we don't know that, right? Like we only gotten to this point with the stuff that actually works.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you weren't smart, if you weren't intelligent, you most likely, like, because it's attributed about 50% to your genetics, right? So most likely your ancestors would not have survived. So you wouldn't exist now. Like the reason we're all here is because somebody back in the day hunted a mammoth, ran away from a saber-toothed tiger, and that's why you're here today. Like there's
I
no
mean,
other explanation.
Remember Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about it, that in some podcast he was in, he was talking about the probability of you existing. It's so great. Like basically he was saying like you exist. It's such a miracle that as a person you exist, because there's so many other billion people that will never exist. He talks about it. I don't remember the video, but
Yeah,
maybe.
I remember you like sharing that comment with
Yes.
me.
It was crazy.
I
'cause
found
it
it
blows
like
your mind.
I found it
I
absolutely
can't listen to Neil.
insane,
It
but
gives
it's
me a
it's
headache.
it's the reality, Again, you see a lot of people and perhaps that's another topic, but you see a lot of people like depressed, like out there, like I maybe I shouldn't, be here, not exist,
Yeah,
whatever.
what am I doing here?
But
for?
remember that, like in a certain way, and just to make it a little bit more positive, on your like the chances to like, and on like maybe I don't know, I don't know, like you have semen, you have a lot of like sperm. You're talking about like minimums of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the chances of actually you
Being the one.
being that one particular one that actually
I
Made
think
it.
I think
made
that's
it
what
there. In
he's
fact,
talking
it's
about.
an ovule, right? The chances are very low. So if you're here in Earth,
Yeah.
if you're here among us, it's because you're special in whatever
That's what
way.
he says. That's what he says.
So the chances, and again, I'm just connecting what you
Yeah.
said. The chances are very narrow. So if you're here, it's for a purpose, right? So again, chances are very very minimal. Like just live it every day. Like yeah, you should need to be grateful for every second you're here. Like sharing the same air that we're breathing.
I think if you can get that thought into your mind, it's not easy. But when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, as people say, that thought can really bring you back. Of like, well, you gotta just be thankful you're alive.
Yeah.
I
And
woke
it's all
up.
mental,
I woke up.
think, right?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, and probably that's the reason that I brought the topic. A lot of people, and probably I'm a little bit selfish, but I really, I mean, depression is a reality.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a thing.
for sure.
A
Definitely.
lot of people are like going through depression or anxiety or something, but specifically depression, anxiety I can understand perhaps a little bit,
Yeah, we all have anxiety.
but the
was
depression
weird,
for
right?
whatever reason, and you getting medicated for
things will
that.
take you
I
up.
mean, like listen, you need to like realize that like something happens for a reason. Don't be immersed into whatever situation just to create your own like sense of chaos like inside. Just turn the fucking page.
Yep.
You have a lot of people like on your surroundings that
To
and
support
to
you.
support you in whatever situation. If you got dumped by your like girlfriend, wife, whatever, like you got a lot of friends.
Fish in the
Just
sea.
call Jay, like 1-800 call Jay. Like listen, you're gonna be a happy guy like after that. So again, it's always a solution. So I'm just saying, just be happy. I'm on everything.
That is an amazing note to
Wait.
end.
Wait, bro. I had a couple other
before
things.
I have a
With
thing
2
to
hours.
I have a thing
So?
to say. Ask to Felix. Do you to go on another sub? We were talking about it, but we went on something else. Do you remember having this toy that you had to grow this
Tamagotchi.
egg or dog, or
Tamagotchi.
you had to clean up his shit and feed him? If you didn't, he'd die. Do you
The
remember
the
that?
Tamagotchi,
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
Tamagotchi.
shit!
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
were talking about like all these things, that I remember.
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. That was very popular back in
Yeah.
the back
Or
in
the
the
little
days.
skateboard. The little finger skateboard. Do you remember that? Oh my.
So I know Alex talked about Alex said something about like people on ADHD, they overthink things. He said
overdrive.
most people's brain are constantly trying to predict. People with ADHD just do it on overdrive. I do agree with that. However, we are terrible at predicting things. For example, if you ask somebody,
I don't believe that.
think about it. If you ask somebody, are you a good buyer of a car? And most people say, yes, I am. But
That's
in
different.
reality, huh?
That's a very specific situation.
Yeah, I know. No, let me land. But in reality, that person is probably a better buyer of milk. Because you buy milk more often than you buy a car or a house. So you would actually know exactly where to go to get the cheapest milk that you usually buy without even thinking about it. So we are actually irrational when we think about things. And these predictions that come true is 1 out of 8 billion. It's a simple chance.
I don't think that's true because we put predictions together when we more than likely can logically think about it.
Yeah, but most of the time, your logic is irrational. That's what I'm trying to say.
What can you
And
predict?
I don't-
When
I
you
don't
say-
agree.
When you
I
say
don't
we're good
agree.
at prediction, what can
Well, you don't have to
predict?
agree.
Well,
you don't
what
have
I'm trying to
agree.
say, well, I know.
Because Kahneman got a Nobel Prize for his experiments into this subject. He was the very first one in 2002 to get a Nobel Prize for behavioral economics. And in his book, he writes about these things, how irrational we are. For example, a lot of people will pay $12 for Amazon Prime versus paying $100 for the entire year. That's super irrational. Makes sense?
I think it's 15 now.
But anyway, and another thing he mentioned is that overpopulation is an issue.
I
The
thought it
chance
was
of life is amazing, but
declining.
overpopulation is issue.
But I thought it's
I
declining.
do agree that overpopulation is a big
But I
thing.
thought it's declining.
What?
Our population.
Population is
No.
declining. Population is declining.
Yes.
Population has gone up in
No,
the last
it's
year.
declining.
What do you mean? We're
Yeah,
8
it's
billion
declining.
now.
No, we're not. We're not. We're less actually.
Yeah.
We're at 8 billion. Yes. What do you
We're
mean? I
not
just
at
looked
eight
it up
billion.
2 days ago. We're at
I
8
know,
billion.
I'm saying, even Elon said that more people are dying than being born. Right
Yes, population is declining. With education, people are having less children. The reason population increased was because of the antibiotics. So the past 70 years, we went from 1 billion to 8
Correct.
billion.
Yeah, but that's the thing right now. You know, like we are living now a situation where all these like baby boomers right from the 60s and stuff. Right now, these people are turning 65, 70. These are the people that are retiring right now. Obviously, there are more people going into
Retiring than
retirement
Yeah.
that are actually
Being
like
born.
not even being born. It's like being productive, like in the like in the nation, actually, like paying taxes and stuff like that to contribute to the system that to auto generate itself and to be a prosperous like country.
So here's
but
I
the
think
why
thing.
does-
because
let
the
me ask
people
you
are
though.
realizing working for somebody is worse than opening a business.
Well, let me ask you, why
Maybe because
Wait, wait, what are you saying?
I define myself as a millennial, like our generation are not even like my generation, but people are just being bitchy. Oh no, I cannot work 12 hours, 13 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's too much work. It's always an excuse, man.
I think it's you're comparing a foreigner that's coming from a rougher time to a country that's everything is open, and somebody that's ignorant. So ignorant is not really a bad word. They simply don't know. Like I can't blame them for not knowing.
Anyways, according to Google search, our population has been on a not steady increase, but it's been increasing. I don't know where you guys are
Yeah, but
getting
it
this from.
started to slow down. The
but-
increase started to
No,
slow
that's
down.
not true.
No, I think it's talking about
But-
But according to this, it's not
how
true.
the
I don't
population
know. That's
increased
what
in the
last I
last
looked,
whatever
that's
the amount of years versus now it's like plateauing type of thing going
Look,
on.
from 2019 to 2020, 0.49% increase.
In U.S.
Yeah, this is. Why is it doing?
Yeah, exactly. So what I was trying to say is like, overpopulation is an issue. I agree with that. However, the simple idea that majority of people are married with an opposite sex goes against the whole idea of
That's what Elon was
population.
saying. I
Do you see
think
what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't marry an opposite sex. You wouldn't have sex if you did not want to
Yeah,
populate.
The world population is still increasing. We hit
Yes,
8
it's
billion.
increasing, but I think what he's saying is
It's starting to plateau.
plateau, meaning like it was increasing in such.
You
a
know why I'm gonna
pace
tell you that it's starting to
before.
plateau? Because people live longer.
Not
longer-
only that, not only
What do you
that.
mean?
I
But
think
they have
People live
education.
longer. We're having less dead people.
No, education has something to do with that too. The more educated people have less. The more intelligent, educated people have less children.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Plus, they clamp down on China.
And
to
more
have
more
less
people are
children.
being educated with
Well,
education
that's a
being
big
more
thing,
of
right?
a
Like
accessible.
over there, you have an extra kid and they'll fucking arrest you.
Oh, dude, it's really bad over there. You can only have one kid now, I think, or two kids in China, right? Before they have like so many.
So before 86 or 78, something like that. Before 78, they could only have one child, but then they realized like that, and that had to be a male. Right now, they have a issue with there's a lot bigger population of males in China than there are females. So yeah, they have the male workforce, but they got all these guys that are single and
Yeah.
things
So
like that.
so what I heard from that, it was like, I kind of heard of like a few days ago. It's like in China, if you had a girl, right? You had the possibility of the option of like just kill it and
Yeah,
go
yeah.
for another child because they only let you have one child,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So if you had a girl, you had the possibility to
Abort.
like either like kill it,
Abortion.
abortion, whatever. So the second one is whatever it is. If it's a boy or a girl, you have to keep it. But the first one is like you have the options like to like
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. So it's just crazy. How
Yeah,
how
and then I think that was the 78 or something, or 87 when they lifted that, and now they're trying to enforce that. However, they don't have enough females in the population to give birth to the count of the males that they have.
Oh,
Because
is
they
it
wanted
really,
that
like,
workforce.
Ratio is crazy. Like
Yeah, it's different. It's way different. Because in the world, there are like overall there are more females in the world than there are males. I think it's like a 1% or 2% difference.
yeah, it's like
But in
51,
China, it's
49.
completely different.
It's like worldwide, it's like 51 to 49. It's not that
Something
much
like
of
that,
a difference,
yeah.
but yeah,
Like
like
2%
females still
difference.
like
yeah, the world in general.
yeah.
In the world general, yeah. But that's I don't know. These are.
I don't know.
pretty
I
interesting
only
questions.
responded that way because I had been like a few days ago. I looked into that world population. I was doing some research on world population and some other stuff because I was interested in the whole homosexuality question, right? Anyways, but from beyond that, that's why I was like, when you guys said that the population is going down, it just didn't coordinate from what I had researched.
I think they meant that how fast it was increasing before versus
So this
now.
scientist, his name is Satoshi Kanazawa. He wrote this book. It's called Intelligence Paradox. So in his book, he writes that if intelligent people are more likely to be homosexual than non-intelligent people, and he has this whole breakdown how he takes that and then connects it to actual homosexuality. It's really crazy, but it's a really awesome book to read. And in his book, actually talks about the intelligence paradox, how intelligent people in reality they're probably dumber than non-intelligent people, because non-intelligent people usually rely on their instincts, and intelligent people tend to overthink a lot of times, and they usually overshoot.
Is that why I didn't win the Powerball? Because I overthought the numbers.
No, so it's a really cool book to read about the intelligence. Like, intelligent people are more likely to listen to classical music than other type of music. Intelligent people are more likely to do XYZ. Or intelligent people are more likely to get married later in life and have less children. Like,
Oh, now we get it. This is where we're heading.
Key to that, more likely. More likely. Doesn't mean 100%. All right, I think we're going to have to end it there. We're at over 2 hours, which I sure as hell don't give a damn if
well,
we
we
keep
came
going,
on late
but
today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for sticking around for so long. I know it's
I'm not sure.
12 o'clock already.
Alex did
Oh,
a
so he was.
statement,
Alex said, due to COVID and all the plastics in our bodies and other things are also some of the reasons we're lowering fertility
Fertility.
rate.
Is that a
Fertility
research?
rate. That plus the older age, because I've looked into this actually. About 3% of the there are about 3% of their birth defects in the population. About 3% of all the births have birth defects, and they're not necessarily, but they're attributing 2% of that to female age and female related genetic defects, and then 1% towards males. Now, that's also they're relating that also to age, to male's age. So if you think about it, if people are getting married later, that means their bodies are older, so there's more likely to have any genetic defects, right? More likely to have fertility issues, things like that, because your testosterone levels are not the same, your estrogen levels are not the same as you would have them if you were 15 or 20 versus 35.
Yep.
Okay.
So there are correlations with that. Yeah.
Well, that's that. Thank you guys for coming and watching today.
Yep, guys. On your way out, please like, subscribe, send a notification, click that notification button, and then share with your friends.
Thank
if
you
you
guys.
like this content, you think your friend's gonna like the content.
Like, subscribe. Jay, please. What's the Instagram account? Who do we
it's
need
all
to follow?
It's all underneath.
Everything is
It's
in,
all-
everything
it's
is
all
in the description.
It's
All the
here?
accounts.
No need to tell it up loud.
We're gonna add Arthur's account, so if you guys want to go check out his badass tank, and we'll add your account if you'd like, so you can go
Yeah,
see this
great.
man choke everybody.
Yep. Oh, by the way, don't forget this Sunday, early in the morning, we have a surprise for you. This Sunday,
Yeah,
all right?
this
Don't
Sunday.
forget.
It's church. Church.
We're
Sunday.
gonna be in church this Sunday, early in the morning.
Yeah,
Stay
church.
tuned. You will not regret it.